Can you hear me? Hit one if you can hear me. My daughter jacked up my headphones. Hit one if you can hear me. Hit one if you can hear me. Oh, great. Nah, my daughter, I thought she broke my headphones, man. I, I thought she broke them joints, man. Okay. Good, good, good. Oh, no, Rebecca. If I show you my feet, I gotta oil them joints up, man. Get a pedicure, man. My feet look treacherous, man. My feet look treacherous, Jack. Nah, Jack. I can't even show them jokes, man. Man, I ain't even lie to you, man. I can't do that, man. I'm embarrassed, man. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed, man. I'm embarrassed. I ain't even gonna lie to you, man. I'm embarrassed, man. I'm embarrassed, man. Nah, man. I ain't flexible like that, man. I can't chew my toenails. So I finally got a chance to catch a little bit of the game, man. I caught like none of it because by the time I turned it on, it was this, man. It's football player, man. Damar Hamlin, man. Um, Salute the Elevatiant, man. Boycott China, boycott China to stop them funding war industry, and the complex about our own dries up. Maybe spend that money on the Scared Straight African Peace Corps program for troubled youth instead. Sorry, Elevatiant, there are no solutions, man. There are no solutions. But I mean, I support you trying, man. I really do, man. I really do appreciate you trying, man. There are no solutions, man. They're already saying this kid got the vax, man. Well, he did. He did have to get the vax to play. They say, okay. They say he has a pulse, but he's not breathing on his own. Okay. He has a pulse. That's good. That's good. That's good news. Listen, man. I'm just gonna say this, man. If you're white, if you are white, do not tweet anything about this game, man. White people, when y'all gonna learn, man? White people don't learn, man. You can't white people. You can't say nothing, man. Don't say nothing about this game, white people, man. White people don't say nothing about this game. This black dude that looked like he. I don't know if he dead or not. I hope he's alive, man. But don't say nothing, man. Don't say nothing, white people. White people, whenever it's a black player, don't say nothing. Whenever it's a black player hurt, don't say nothing, white people. Y'all gotta stop this, man. I'm trying to tell y'all. This is him. This is the guy who got injured. He fell out. He had cardiac arrest. They said he had traumatic cardiac arrest.
Let's get back to it. What's up? It's Damar Hamlin. Back at the hometown, back at the crib. Third annual toy drive, man. We're doing it for the kids. Having a good time, man. So let's get back to
it. You said it's not normal at 22 years old to have a traumatic cardiac arrest. Yeah, that shit ain't normal. I told you since I've had the jab, man, my shit has been. I told you I had struggles walking up the stairs for a long time, man. I couldn't walk up a flight of stairs, man, and I had a sharp pain, in my chest. Yeah, man. And I never had those issues before I got the jab and before I got boosted. I got boosted, y'all. I got that booster, man. My wife wanted me to get another one. I was like, oh, hell no. She wanted me to get another booster, man. I was like, what the fuck? It's another one? Yeah, that Fauci ouchie ain't no joke. Salute to CA. She says, Gillimore hit the cash. Yeah, man, we still celebrating Kwanzaa, man. It's still Kwanzaa, man. The CA is absolutely correct, man, with these two principles. Thank you, CA, for enlightening us about these two principles, the two most important principles of Kwanzaa. Bajimore hit the Cash App, and Ulam Bin Da hit the PayPal. Salute to you, man. That's hysterical, man. Salute to you, man. Yeah, man. That's how we do it, man. Real authentic African shit, man. That's hysterical, man. But this kid, man, this kid right here, oh man, I'm hoping that he's anytime they bring the ambulance on the field, man, that's not good, Jack. That's not good when they bring the ambulance on the field. Salute to Nate Ways, man. Yeah, what he said, man. He said, I'll be listening as I go to sleep. Yeah, man. You know, I be listening to YouTube going to sleep too, man. Make sure y'all, when y'all come up here, make sure y'all keep it down, man. And Nate Ways try to get some sleep, man. Yeah, that man he must got work in the morning, man. He said, yeah, that'd be sad if this kid's gone, man. I mean, sad ain't the word, man. This is like the worst thing ever on a football field we've seen in a while. So they're saying, okay, so this is what they're saying happened. This guy says, as a physician, I believe Damar Hamlin was likely suffering from commotio cordis, when a blow to the chest at a precise moment in the electrical cycle stops the heart. Those trying to tie this to vaccine status to project their unscientific beliefs are terrible, horrible people. Well, y'all some terrible, horrible people, man. Y'all are some terrible, horrible people. Because they're saying this is commotio cordis. That's what this doctor's saying. I don't know who this guy is. Chris Haddock, family medicine doctor. I don't know, man. It's just not normal for a guy to drop like that, man. Young people to be falling out like that, man. And it happens a lot. How many of y'all know that this happens a lot, man? A lot of athletes been passing out all over the world, and they cover it up. They don't show it. They couldn't hide this one. Salute to Aaron, man. Aaron with the $1 cash app, man. Salute to you, bro. I saw a little video of it was like a montage of like a bunch of fucking athletes just passing out, falling out on the field. They couldn't hide this one though. I'm hoping the kid's all right, man. But listen, of course, they got to make it about a white man said something. So Skip Bayless, man, you know White Skip, man. White Skip from the White Skip and the Blackity Black Shannon Sharp show, man. Undisputed, man. White Skip tweeted this like right when it happened, right when the guy was on the ground. He tweeted,
I don't like him at all. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm sick and tired of this man. I don't even know, bro, but I don't like, bro. I don't like him at all. Somebody just claps on the damn football field, and this man is up here talking about the outcome of the game, which suddenly seems irrelevant. Bro, what are you talking? Yes, it is irrelevant when we're talking about somebody's life. This man is weird. And the fact that they're still paying this man is scary to me. Bro is weird. I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
So liberals are sick. They're all tweeting about Skip Bayless, man. Because let me show you his tweet, man. Let me see if I can find. Here it is. So he tweeted this at 9:30. This is like immediately when it happened, right? When the guy collapsed on the field. I mean, this doesn't bother me, man. It was if he would have written this now, or like 30 minutes after it happened, or whatever, long after we realized, the kid wasn't going to life was in jeopardy. Okay, fine. Be mad. But this is like the moment it happened. He may have thought it was a concussion. I don't think they should stop the games for concussions. I don't think anybody knew this kid had a fucking traumatic cardiac arrest. I don't think nobody knew that at the time. I think it's just like Adam Schefter. Remember I think it was like a year ago when that Dwayne Haskins walked out into traffic and got hit by a dump truck. And Adam Schefter tweeted that, he was a star at Ohio State, and then he went on to struggle with the Redskins, and then he was just getting to Pittsburgh and finding his way, and then he was killed. And everyone was like, oh, how did he talk about he struggled with the Redskins? And they tried to cancel Adam Schefter. I'm going to tell you, white people, man, stop talking, man. White people, give this shit up, man. You don't get to talk in public, man. Because if Shannon would have said this shit, it wouldn't have been nothing. They would have just been like, well, Shannon, I hope you, Shannon, I know that, they'd have gave him the benefit of the doubt. They'd have been like, yeah, he tweeted that like right when it happened. But now that we see that the kid is going to, kid may not make it, fine. But this is reverse racism, man. I'm telling you, man, this is reverse racism, man, against white people, man. I'm telling you, man. I promise you it is. Every time a white person says something, they intentionally take it out of context. They intentionally act like the worst intentions. Whenever a white person says something, they intentionally see the worst in it. They intentionally try to take the worst fucking. What's going on, Blanco? What's up, man?
Hey, how are you doing tonight?
How's it going, man?
It's going good. But yeah, man, this dude, that was kind of scary, man. They doing CPR on him on the field like that.
Yeah, he passed out, man. That kid dropped like a stone, man.
Last I read, he's on an intubator. They have a tube down his throat at the hospital.
So that means that he's not breathing on his own, right?
Nah, the machine's breathing for him.
Right. So what's so when that happens, is that brain dead or what is that?
No, he's not brain dead, but his for whatever reason, his lungs aren't working. He can't breathe on his own. I don't know.
What do you guys think, man? What's up, Hot Black?
Hey, what up, guys?
Did you see this?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean, are they gonna? They postpone the game? Is that what happened?
Yeah, the game has been postponed. What do you think about your white brethren, man? Skip Bayless, man.
Yeah, I mean, what an idiot, talking about a sun man, and that sun man who came on with the do-rag and everything definitely was making a good point about how could this white man be talking cavalierly about death when, he only says some shit about death 10,000 times a day probably on his blog.
What's up, Wicked?
Yo, what up? What up? I don't see how you're connecting it to the jab off bat, though.
No, I'm not connecting to the jab. That's what people online are doing.
But you don't find that kind of annoying, though? I don't know this guy. I don't know I don't know his medical
Well,
history.
he had to have taken the jab if he played the league.
Yeah, but
everybody had to take.
Yeah, he had to breathe oxygen to play football that day too. I mean,
yeah, we don't know his. I don't know his medical history.
Right, right. No doubt.
It could have been. I don't know. I can't really say either way, to be honest. I'd feel crazy to, go hard for either side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it seems real early on to call it.
Yeah, I'm gonna flip a coin and I'll let you know where I stand on the jab argument.
What's going on, WP?
Peace. Yeah, I'm going on the side of that it's the a Fauci arrest, aka a cardiac arrest due to the jab, man. And I don't know. I saw a few people have mentioned it in the chat. I did as well. John Stockton recently had an interview where he talked about he knew that a number of athletes who passed due to the Fauci arrest. So I'm going that side.
Okay. The Fauci ouchie, man. The Fauci ouchie. What's up, man? What's up, Ray Wall?
Yo, what up, Bob?
What's happening, man?
What's going on?
What
I
you
don't
think
know.
about this?
I think he just took a hard hit. Hard hit to the chest.
Straight to the chest.
It could have been
But
the
the fallout and the not breathe, like guys take those. Listen, man.
They do, yeah,
Is
they
it
do.
real? Does that happen like every fucking place? Somebody
it does.
did like that every place.
It does. You're right.
Hey, I got the timeline of it. So the injury happened at 8:55, and then the ambulance left at 9:25. So what time did that tweet go out?
Oh, the Skip Bayless tweet happened at 9:30. Okay, now I see what they're saying.
Oh,
Okay.
bro, that's not good.
Yeah, he tweeted that at 9:30. Okay, now I see. I thought because I missed it. So when I turned the game on, it was already like everybody was on the field praying and whatnot. So okay, so he dropped that tweet at 9:30. Oh,
Cold blooded, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
there's an absolute moral disgrace
Well,
of a human being for this.
It is pretty fucking pathetic, though, to be honest.
Yeah, it's pathetic, but like,
I
is he an evil person that's going to go to hell over this? I don't think
heard
so.
they were Black. I heard they were giving the guy CPR, like trying to keep him alive on the field, dude.
Oh yeah, it's definitely tasteless, man. It's tasteless to tweet.
It's tasteless as fuck for sure.
Yeah,
he's a slave trader. He needs to pay reparations.
Yeah, but they got people out there saying like he should be killed and shit over the, some.
Are they really?
They look. He's the number 2 trend behind the guy.
Damn.
The guy who passed out is the number 1 trend.
Yeah, and we've got 100,000 Sun men out here talking about how could you say such a thing when they be on camera going, "Ooh, he leaking," when
Yeah, great point. That's just more
smoking on. They smoking on a pack and all types of shit. Yeah, they. But you asking for you asking for the same. Come on, we know we're not gonna buy by the same.
No, that would take self-reflection, and that ain't finna happen, Og. So.
Yeah, urinating on the ops grave, dancing on the ops grave, more just typical selective outrage.
Right. Yo, not to be random, speaking of that, some female was dancing on King Von's grave. They probably gonna kill her soon. Not even joking. But anyway.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
her days are numbered.
Yeah, her days are definitely numbered.
A woman? Is it on Twitter? You got it?
I don't know where it's at, but I seen it on she's from like a gang that they really hate each other. She's a female that I guess wants to be a guy in gangbangs. But I'm telling you, she was dancing on his grave. They're gonna kill that bitch. But anyway,
this is tasteful.
Yeah, this is another op stepping on his grave.
But I still think Skip was worse because he should know better.
Yeah, Skip, he white. Yeah, he should know better.
It was worse. He was a glider. I mean, that's full stop.
Yeah, you know better. Like y'all got reason and rationale, man. We don't have that shit. Oh, this is the one. Chicago rapper Aveen Bankroll steps on King Von's grave.
Yeah, we think they're gonna kill her or what, Chief? Not to be like, don't get me wrong, but I think they're gonna kill her. They're gonna catch her one day, outside.
Oh man, she's hitting us with that classy black woman stuff. If I had a dick, I would pull it out and piss on it.
She could still piss on it, women.
Oh
piss,
yeah,
don't they?
I'm surprised she didn't do that.
Hey, Papa
yeah,
Squad,
I'm definitely shocked she didn't do that.
Papa Squad, girl, go crazy.
Wow,
Sisters have a way with words.
Yeah, man. I mean, she's so I mean, my God, man. Like we're so lucky to have.
These guys don't like that shit. These like gangbangers, they shit like literally specifically the grave itself. Like the girl that they killed at the McDonald's, her dad was on somebody's grave talking shit, and they ended up spraying him, killing his daughter. You remember? Right?
Yeah, the little girl. Yeah.
So they don't like that shit.
Yeah, I mean, but it happens so much that like they don't get everybody who does that level of disrespect.
True. That's crazy.
But I mean, they get like what 1% of the people who disrespect like that.
Right. Yo, I wonder what she thinks about Skip Bayless tweeting that.
Oh, she thinks it's horrible. She thinks Skip should die.
She
Well,
probably
she
want to
thinks
kill
everybody. She thinks everybody who does something she doesn't like should die.
Cut her off in traffic. Die,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
So this is what they're saying happened. They're saying it's commotio cordis, and it happens when like something hits your lung at the right time, an electrical, and your heart stops during an upstroke wave. Wow, that's scary, man. That is terrifying, man.
It's just awful convenient. We've not seen this before.
Come
No,
on,
actually,
man. Are you coming with your jab conspiracies, man? Go ahead.
If Americans knew how many European soccer players have died just like this,
Yes.
I think this wouldn't seem so crazy.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
they just fall out, just fall,
Do you
and
mean
they're done.
since the
And they're the
jab?
most they're the most athletic athletes, in my opinion, out of all the sports because you're constantly running.
And you don't have any gear on? That's a tough sport. I think it's one of the toughest, soccer.
It is a tough sport at the high levels. It is very physical.
and they definitely have the most endurance.
Oh, come on now.
Definitely.
We all know curling's the most intense sport.
But wait, have they died? Are you saying
Yeah.
Son, they died
Yes.
after the jab?
And they
Many,
keep playing
yes.
too.
Yes.
What about
many, and
before
they
the
keep
jab?
playing.
They keep playing. Yep.
What about before the jab?
No, it was not. It was not something that happened often. It wasn't something that happened. Matter of fact, I think it had happened only a handful of times ever.
Hank Gathers, Reggie Lewis. I've seen the several players over the years.
Handful. That's a handful over a 40-year.
Like 40-year period. Yeah. Now
Yeah,
it's like
we're
they
talking
dropped
about.
them.
Yeah, we're talking like 20 people in a year. All of them jabbed up
And
and
they're all
boosted.
young. And they're all young too. These guys
Young
are
and top
young.
athletes, young top professional athletes. And by the way, the John Stockton interview was on a show called Sideline Sanity. It's a podcast.
Well, go ahead and put it in the back chat. We might get to. We might.
I'm retarded when it comes to that stuff.
The makers of the jab admitted long ago, even documented long ago, that this has an effect on the heart.
Oh yeah, it definitely does. I mean, look, this is experimental, man. We're the experiment. We're the data on this. So like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like they had a trial run where they could work all that stuff out. We're the trial run. So they're learning everything about it through us, so they probably don't even know everything that it causes.
They can't. It hasn't been too long. Like you said, it hasn't been long enough. And
So
that's what made it so irresponsible to make people get that experimental injectable to keep their livelihood.
Yeah, they forced you. You.
Yeah, and it all turned out to be bullshit. That COVID shit. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's don't get me wrong.
If you're 80 and already have multiple comorbidities, yeah, it's the truth. But everybody else, man, is what it is.
I just find it odd. Because, and I know the chat's gonna hate me. They want to go against that jab shit. I'm indifferent to it, but I know third world countries, they were dying to get the jab, and we had it. We didn't want it. I just find it interesting, you know. In Mexico, dog, they wish they had the jab. See, they
weren't begging for it in Haiti.
They were dying like a motherfucker over there from COVID.
These videos would be better if they
Mexico.
didn't have like the Hall of the Mountain King in the background. That makes it really kind of seem like they're just making fun of the thing, you know? Like we get it. We understand that you think that this is the cause of it, but you don't have to treat us like fucking idiots.
In Mexico, they were dying like a motherfucker from COVID.
Really?
Yeah. I remember that when it was popping out. I kept hearing about. To this day, people are still dying from it. But now they're saying,
Hey.
they took the jab. You know?
Wicked, while you talking, are you seeing any of these videos that's Ox showing?
Right.
No, I'm not.
I mean, the one with the soccer guy just pointing to his heart as he's kneeling and looking like, I'm about to die. That's evil, man.
And he did die.
Oh,
right
wow. Damn.
They're trying to say this is cordis, comitio cordis.
Hey,
Yeah,
run back to the top with them videos of the soccer players well so Wiki can see what we
see,
talking
I
about.
don't know if they're gonna get me for that, man.
They
For just
might.
showing the soccer players?
They might. They don't fuck with Ike.
Like
You know
the
that.
way I don't even want to show this kid collapsing on the field.
I wouldn't if I was you, Ike. To be honest.
Yeah, because I just got back on here, man. I'd be scared, man. So this is the
They're
impact.
more hypersensitive about this stuff than the Juice Crew stuff, I think.
No, any other people can show this shit. It's just me. Like, you gotta understand. Like no, they.
I think if
like,
they get a hint that it might be anti-jab stuff, then they're
Yeah.
gonna be shadow banning you.
Which they could come to that conclusion on them.
I'm sure they're already gathering up all the chatter around all the social medias about people blaming it on that and already correlating some kind of plan.
Oh, they are. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar came out and spoke out against John Stockton's comments on CNN because he's a big Fauci fan.
He's a
He's a big pusher.
No doubt.
So they gave this kid CPR for 9 minutes.
It's a long ass time.
Yeah, but he has a pulse. That's just like that's the crazy part. He has a pulse. It's like that's a good thing though. He's got a fighter's chance, a puncher's chance, right?
If that's true,
especially at this point, this far along, he still has a pulse. That's a definite fighter's chance.
Yeah, I mean his body's still getting oxygen as long as he's on that intubator thing.
Yeah, and that's the other question: is the pulse by himself, or is he being helped with the machine or apparatus?
What machine is he on?
That's my question.
A ventilator?
Probably
yeah, if he's being machine assisted breathing, he's probably intubated. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know of a machine that.
If he's on a ventilator specifically, he's probably gone. Even with a pulse, he probably won't recover.
Okay, now
and I don't say that shit lightly.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't like. Let me tell you something. Full disclosure, man. I have no fucking clue about none of this shit. So, like, you gotta tell me, man.
I work in the medical field.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
the ventilator is specifically for your lungs, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And usually, they put you on a ventilator because the rest of your body has become so weakened, or in this guy's case, shocked from the event, that they're just not working at full capacity. And typically, when this happens, all of your organs and everything, they won't respond. So they're keeping him alive, but I'm just saying, just don't be surprised within the next 24 to 48 hours, we find out that they're going to turn that machine off and he's going to pass.
Well, they're not going to do that. They're going to keep him on there as long as possible, man. They're not turn off the next day. But if they do, if he is on the machine, it's probably inevitable, right?
Yeah, I mean, they can keep him on it for 50 years if they want it.
Yeah.
But it's inevitable. They're going to say he is brain dead. His organs are shutting down.
That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to see if his brain activity. That's what I want to see. Is it showing any brain activity? Because he probably didn't get oxygen to. How many minutes can you go for oxygen to the brain?
Like 2 or 3.
I was going to say it's literally between 2 to 3, maybe 4. But once you get to even 4 minutes, I just don't think it's possible.
So I wasn't watching the game. What was the outcome? Did they postpone the game? What did they?
This guy, he cares about who won the game, man.
No, I didn't say win. No, I didn't say win. I said no. I didn't say who won.
They postponed it.
Okay.
He asked, "What's the score?" So, man, what was the score?
Yeah,
man?
Who won?
Nah.
Oh my God, man, you heartless.
Don't put that on me, bro. Don't put that on me.
Damn.
Yeah, man. But yeah, this is crazy, man. This guy Oh, what? He's passed? No way. No way. They say
Oh,
they
wow.
just announced it. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. That's bullshit, right? Because people play like that online. Somebody he might be playing, man. That guy must be playing. That guy might be playing. This is sick right here. This guy right here to do this. Let's see how many fucking he got 2 followers. he got 2, he got 2 followers, man. He out here bullshit trying to start some shit, man. This is the only tweet too, except for this and this.
And it's Bob Kraft, so someone who doesn't like the Patriots.
Obviously. So tell me this, because I don't remember, but back in the day when people used to get beat to death in boxing, they wouldn't just shut down the whole rest of the card, would they? They didn't ever do that before, did they?
I don't think so.
I think though boxing is an individual sport. Like football being a team sport, it's a little different dynamic. You understand what I'm saying? Like he's part of a team, so his teammates have to they got to wheel him off on the ambulance and they got to run the next play. And
Yeah, and I'm not sure, but with the boxing deaths, I'm not sure, but I think the guys or people were able to get them to at least get them to the dressing room, and then they passed. I don't know if the guys were just passing right there in the ring.
No, I
I
saw
think
a fight the other
pass
day.
sometimes they
Yeah.
pass in there.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
okay.
try to
passed
take him
it.
to
Yeah,
the
that's
hospital.
happened.
They try to save him.
But they do take them to the it's not
They
like
do.
you don't know they're dead, but they
They're trying to keep him
Right.
alive. But those events, I think they still continue, right? Like it's not like they
I
stop.
don't
think so.
know. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure they do. I haven't heard of them not continuing, but
I mean,
all
you
I'm saying-
remember
Because
you
they hope for
remember
the best
Ock-
kind of deal, They hope for the best outcome, I guess.
you guys remember when those guys, it was multiple guys back when we were younger that broke their necks in the game, and it was obvious that they were paralyzed,
Oh
and the
yeah,
game
definitely.
continued.
Yeah, the guys in that's one of the freakiest the worst things that happens on the field when the guy gets paralyzed, man, because it's like, man, like that's like these top athletes that go through necks and because usually on football it's neck down. You know what I'm saying? Because of the nature of the game. You know what I'm saying? So those guys, it's sad, man. That's one of the saddest things. What's his name? Mark Bunakani. I remember when we were young. You remember Mark Bunakani?
Yeah, I remember that.
He was Nick Bunakani's son, man, and a famous football player. And he broke his neck diving in for. He tried to spear the guy, right?
Yep.
Broke his neck. And right when he tried to spear the guy, another guy hit the guy into him even more. So it's like, and it's like he basically snapped his neck, and they were like, it was instant. It was over. There was no hope for it. It was like on the field, they knew what happened instantly. As soon as the trainers got out there, they knew what happened. And it was another one I remember. What's the guy? Eric LaGrange.
And Mike Utley. Remember Mike Utley?
Mike Utley from Detroit Lions. What's the other guy from the Jets? God damn.
Yeah. Fuck, I can't remember.
Bird.
Yeah.
Bird. Steve Bird.
Yeah. Dennis
Bird. Yeah. Yeah, we've seen these things happen, man. Those are sad, but this one right here, this is new, man. This is a different thing, man.
And let's not forget Chucky Mullins, Ole Miss.
Yeah, Chucky Mullins, Ole Miss. He speared the guy too, right?
Yeah, he did, and he passed. Like he was neck down, but years later he passed from it.
Yeah. You gotta when you hitting, man, you gotta keep your head up, man.
Wasn't there a guy named Shazier on the Steelers? Ryan?
Shazier?
Yeah,
I saw that game.
Yeah.
When he hit the guy, the Bengal, he hit him in the thigh too. He hit the guy in the thigh and snapped his neck. But Shazier was a hell of a ball player too, man. He I thought he had a Hall of Fame arc, man. He like a Bobby Wagner type, man. You know what I'm saying? Just I feel like he had a Hall of Fame arc in his career, and he just
Yeah, he
uh,
was definitely finna be a beast for years,
yeah,
and it looks like he's at least walking again.
yeah, he's walking. He's like tottering and shit. But he's not like walking. He's like locomotion type shit. He's just moving, but he's not like walking like we walk. You
Right,
know what I'm saying? He's
right,
like
right.
just what I'm saying, like a robot type thing. But
So why do you think J.J. Watt retired this year?
I mean,
TJ Watt? Oh,
I think
JJ, right?
JJ Watt's only 33. That's the thing. I didn't realize how young he was.
Well, I mean, you know what happened to him, right?
No, what
Injuries.
happened?
No,
jab.
yeah, his heart's messed up. His heart got knocked out of rhythm randomly, and he thought he was dead, and they shocked him back into rhythm, and then it just kept messing up, and so he quit.
When was this?
Smart man.
Yeah, he knew it was. He saw the writing on the wall.
Yeah, he said, "Oh shit, I'm messed up. I can't do this
I
anymore."
can't do this. Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There's a bunch of NFL players this has happened to this year, but they're not going to tell you why, and they're not going to tell you that it happened at all.
Correct.
And soccer players, divers, bicyclists. Like there's people like hundreds of athletes have collapsed this year, and you just don't hear about it.
He's moving though. His legs is his legs move?
Hey, did you know that Andrew Luck also retired because of the vaccine preemptively?
You're troll. Did you go to school for trolling or some shit? Like
No,
the
I'm
master, dude. Got a
Umbrito
PhD in it.
University?
I read it
He's
somewhere
a-
on Twitter from some guy with 2 followers.
He's a 5D chess player when it comes to that trolling,
No,
boy.
look, all I'm saying
That
is
was good though.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. That
Trump
shit
needs
had
to
me
put you on
laughing.
the fucking press team if he wins again.
I used to love Sean Spicer, man. He was entertaining. Did you ever watch him, Mike?
Sean Spicer? Nah, I
That
know he
motherfucker
was.
was hilarious.
He's not as
He
good
was-
as that. Not good as that black girl that's his
If you mean good as in terrible, then yeah, you're right.
he's the best. So this is so that's what they said. He got shocked right there, but he
But it's a
gets up.
garden variety play, man. It's
He
a
gets
garden
up.
variety tackle.
He gets up and then he boom.
Yeah, that was what was so crazy about it. Is he stood up and then just dropped dead. It was crazy.
And he got up like normal. Like he you know how they always grab their face mask and pull their helmet down. Like he just was like it was just normal. These young guys, man. All these guys young, man. Young guys. Well, you gotta remember how young these guys are, man.
There
Yeah,
was
they think
another
they're
white
so
dude.
invincible to everything.
There was
This
a
is
white dude on the East Coast, some East Coast team, and he just had something like this happen to him. Just randomly, his heart's fucked up, and he's done.
Yeah,
This
I
is
mean,
the worst
It's
time
a
in
bad fortune to
history.
have it happen at the same time as a popular sun moon. Had it happen.
salute to Nate Ways. He says they will say it wasn't the jab and say I thought you was asleep, man. You supposed to be asleep.
It's hard hitting content, keeping us up.
Nasty
They
Nate
go to
never
bed,
sleeps.
man. What the hell going on, man?
Nate running them streets, dude.
If
I don't
you
think
hey,
he's going to sleep.
if you late for work, man, do not blame me, man. It ain't my fault, goddamn it. He says they will say it wasn't the jab and say it was climate change, sudden adult death syndrome.
I think that systemic racism finally caught up to him and hit him at once.
Yeah, definitely, man. That's what it was. The heart is protected by pads. Oh, okay, I didn't know there was pads over the heart. I ain't a football player. I never put pads on a day in my life.
Hell yeah, that's the biggest padded area. The pads aren't the thickest there, but they do cover your whole chest plate.
Yeah.
Mm.
Great point by Nate.
Okay, John Giles says just ready. Red vitals returned to normal and doing tests. Think put him to sleep with 2 down throat, so things hopefully looking better. Okay, So we got a report from John Guile, man. This kid might have survived. So does that mean that we can play the game tonight? I'm just asking for a friend, man. My friend Skip, man. I'm asking for Skip. It's like seriously
Skip
though.
don't
Like,
let nothing keep him from the business, man.
yeah. Okay, here it goes. Vitals are back to normal. Have put him to sleep to put the breathing tube down his throat. They are currently running tests. We will provide updates as we have them. Oh man.
He just had a breathing tube. He wasn't on the ventilator.
So he's good. He's gonna survive.
Yeah, looks like, especially if his vitals are stable. Yeah, he's good to go. They're gonna fuck around. They're gonna fuck around, claim he had dehydration. Did you see when that damn sportscaster spazzed out the other day?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Live on air.
Yeah, he was like, oh yeah.
They said that shit was dehydration.
Oh, you see that comedian that was shitting on the jab, and then she just fucking fell out, and they didn't know whether she was making a joke or what, but she actually like fucked up and fell out.
Yes,
saw that as well.
It's probably the nanobots in the jab that they can activate at will.
Maybe this guy though, he's all right, man. So look, so what they're gonna play the game tomorrow, finish it next week. I mean, like, and I'm not even trying to be funny because like this is the last week of the season, and playoffs start the next week.
They didn't think this shit through. And I don't think they're going to be able to finish this game, man. I think they're going to call it a tie or some dumb shit. They're not going to be able to. They're not going to be able to put all this together.
Likely.
And I bet it was an important game too, because a lot of implications are occurring right now in the NFL, right?
What quarter was it when this shit happened?
I think it was
the first quarter.
They might play the game just with no fans.
When?
Do a doubleheader
This
on
weekend.
If they play, they got another game. They have to play somebody else this weekend. This is the last week of the season coming up.
Then they're gonna call it a tie, or they're gonna do some silly shit.
But you know what I'm saying? A lot of teams are they're depending on these games right now.
Yeah, no, this game
Just
is
the first place.
Both these teams are in the playoffs. That's the good part. At least both of these teams. It's not it's not something where somebody's not gonna make the playoffs.
But it could impact another team.
Seeding,
maybe, I don't know.
Seeding. It's gonna impact seeding.
But it could also impact another team, right? Oh, you're right.
Yeah. So we'll see, man. I mean, how they do it, but I'm glad the kids are all right, man.
They should be all right. It's in the gliders got this, right? The Jewish gliders. We should be. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, man.
One thing for sure, man. Buffalo having a rough year, or had a rough year.
Yeah, how do you figure? Oh, the storm
had a lot. Well, a lot happened in Buffalo in 2022.
Shooter. Yeah, that shooter.
Aside from all the sun shenanigans.
Yeah, the shooter, the looting, the shooter, the looter, the shooter, and the looter.
Yeah.
Damn.
That'll be the name of Mayo and Mossy's crime show.
Yeah.
The looter.
Yeah, man.
Make it happen.
I'd watch that.
I watched
salute the product of Cook County, man. He says they did a little trolling with the mandated jabs, man. Milf Mandy says everyone keep a close eye on your kids' vax records. They added the jab to mine as an upcoming vax. Don't let it happen. Oh, so so basically, like when you go get your shots, they give you the kids the jab.
Sneaky.
Yes.
Oh,
what are they making a requirement to get into school?
Yeah,
I thought it already was.
Well, you can try for the religious exemption. I know a number of people got around having to get it for their job using
the only state that's mandating it for children is California.
Shocking.
Yeah, man.
Or medical exemption as well.
Oh, Chicago. Here we go.
I mean, my kids they're gonna be in Catholic school anyway, so it don't matter to me.
Yeah, man. Let's see. All right, here we go, man. On to the fuckery, man.
And right now at 4:30, police looking for the person who opened fire on 95, a woman driving a Maserati.
Yeah, damn. That was it, though. They tried to kill her because look at that. Look at that. Ain't no bullets back here. They all right at her ass. Yeah. Damn. And listen, she's driving a Maserati, so she probably is a hood booker because regular black people
Bro.
don't drive Maserati.
Bro, I drive a Maserati, man. What you talking about?
Yeah, I heard you say that the other
Oh,
day.
you got a luxury car too?
Yeah,
I have a Mazda, I have a Charger, I have a
Sunman.
Dodge Charger, and I have a Maserati that I drive on the weekends.
Boy,
I
man,
got a
Are you
2004
serious,
Honda
though,
CRV.
Are you serious?
you're in danger, my friend.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm serious.
Is it a
Stunner
Dodge
drives a
SRT
My
or
shit is, hey, my shit look just like that one, but it's like navy blue. Man,
Wait, with the bullet holes and everything?
nah, not that shit.
Yeah, that it's
Do
just
you
you,
got
do you
the
have
PPP
bulletproof glass?
I only see people with PPP loans driving Maserati.
Yeah, you got some standing to do, Stunner.
Nah, around my way, you might see quite a few Maseratis, and I'm the only black person I've seen behind the wheel of one.
I've
I
seen
only
a couple.
see black people. I only see black people.
I've seen a couple,
You
and it
with
was actually
lighters?
PPP loans.
Yeah. I only see black people with Maseratis when I'm in DC, man. That's all I see is young black dudes with young black, like they be young. And they be driving the Maserati and shit like it
young,
ain't a Maserati.
disenfranchised,
Right, poverty.
Yeah.
powerless in society.
PPP
No
loans.
And right now at
agency.
4:30, police
Those are
looking
blue
for the
city
person who
problems.
opened
Got them
fire on
problems, right?
95. A woman driving a Maserati struck several times. This all happened Sunday in the area of Northwest 119th Street.
Police say a driver pulled up next to the woman and started shooting. Her car hit more than 30 times. Local 10's Rosh Lowe is live with the latest developments. Rosh.
And we're still trying to figure out the identity of this woman. What a story she has. Can you even imagine you're driving down I-95 and then you're shot at more than 30 times and you're struck at least 3 different times? This is just the latest in a string of violence on the I. The investigation continues and cops trying to find the person responsible for this. We're seeing this again, another case of gunfire erupting on I-95. This time, the victim, an adult female, was traveling northbound on the I in the area of Northwest 119th Street in a white Maserati. According to the Florida Highway Patrol, while traveling, a white sedan pulled up alongside the Maserati. And take a look at the car. The Maserati was shot more than 30 times, hitting the victim several times on the left side of her body. She exited I-95 and the white sedan continued traveling north on I-95. The victim taken to the Ryder Trauma Center, thank goodness, with only non-life-threatening injuries.
Wow.
Of course.
Wow.
Imagine
Context
if
clues.
volcanoes erupted as often as gunfire did.
Right.
The planet would be doomed.
But that's a pretty good spread, if you ask me. Like on the door, that was a pretty good spread.
Yeah, uncharacteristically accurate.
Right.
30 times, and she's got non-life-threatening injuries, man.
Right.
So we already know who did that.
Right. We know who the victim was, and we know the whole offender was.
Wow.
But this is the latest in a string of disturbing shootings, many of them road rage. We had a case in late October where a man was shot and killed by someone on a motorcycle. Then we had the case of Ana Estevez, a preschool teacher who was shot and killed in
Yeah, we covered that the other day.
Tragic story.
Yeah, that was another car. Wasn't that that was in the sports car too, right? The guy was driving.
Oh, he was like in a luxury BMW or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Estevez, a preschool teacher who was shot and killed in Broward while she was driving back with her boyfriend from the Thanksgiving holiday, an arrest made in that case. And now we begin the new year once again with this image, a car riddled with bullet holes.
I think this may have been assisted because she got up and walked off with 3 in her, man. She took 3 slugs and like drove herself to the hospital.
Definitely assisted. It was assisted.
And look at all those bullet holes in the driver window. How in the world did she survive this?
Her armor plating.
You gotta
probably.
dug. You gotta have the instinct thing. You just dug, you know, and
The newer models have like upgraded titanium alloy.
the boy song.
E.T.
Wow.
That pattern, just not for nothing. That bullet pattern. If all of those bullets came from the same gun, that shooter is a horrible shot. those patterns are all over the place when they should be much tighter, even with that many bullets.
But
They are going up down the highway though, guys. They're not standing still.
Usually this results in like a toddler a mile and a half away getting clipped. So
Right.
Yeah.
But you know what? Shooting in the range and shooting in like a real life situation, that's a whole different ball game right there.
Exactly.
Bro.
And something is quite clear here, and that is something needs to be done about all this violence on I-95. In the meantime, this is very much an active, ongoing investigation. If you have any information on this case, pick up the phone and call Crime Stoppers in Miami-Dade. That number is 305-471-TIPS. For now, I'm live outside the Ryder Trauma Center. Rosh Lowe, Local 10 News.
Grovetown police say 3 people are charged in a fraud scheme stealing over $1.5 million. Police say one of the suspects used her position as an employee at several banks to steal customers' information. That woman is Kayla Miller. She's right there on your screen. Police say she and her boyfriend, Tymeen Walker and Nim Williams, would use the information.
Tymeen and Nim.
Tymeen and them.
You heard what happened to Tymeen and them?
Kayla, Tymeen and them. Yo, that's a rough looking son, man. Though he looked like a bully. He looked like he was a bully back in fucking grade school or some shit.
Yo, I never heard that name before. Nim, you ever heard it?
Nah, man. Nah, man.
I'm Nim.
Or Nim either.
Right, especially that with a Williams behind.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen Tymeen either. But
Nim was that kid that was in 8th grade for like 4 years.
Yeah, that's some new shit. I mean, we learn something new every day with these people.
For
man.
real, especially lately, Chief.
Yeah, man. So she's sisters out here doing fraud, man.
Customers' information. That woman is Kayla Miller. She's right there on your screen. Police say she and her boyfriend, Tymeen Walker and Nim Williams, would use the information Miller stole to print counterfeit checks and even open up fake accounts. A search at a home on Vine Lane in Grovetown found stolen debit cards and information on how to get into people's accounts. Evidence was also found at a business on East Boundary in Augusta. Police say the stolen money was used to fund a lavish lifestyle and gang activities. Miller's charged with card theft and forgery. Walker charged with unlawful street gang activity, card theft, and violation of probation. Williams is charged with forgery.
Now we turn to breaking news. 3 teens shot in Lawndale.
Our Jermont Terry live at Stroger Hospital where those teens are being treated tonight. Jermont?
Yeah, Joe and Erica, the 3 teenagers are thankfully in good condition after getting shot in the Lawndale area. Now, this was the scene just a little while ago. Apparently, the 3 teenagers, 2 13-year-olds and a 14-year-old, were on the sidewalk near 14th and Springfield in the Lawndale area when Chicago police say someone in the car pulled up and opened fire on them. Police are looking for the shooters, but thankfully, the teenagers who were rushed here to Stroger Hospital are all in good
So this is not a mass shooting, only 3 victims.
condition.
Right, closed,
But
no
again,
cigar.
sad news,
Yeah,
these
good
teenagers just simply on the sidewalk when someone decided to open fire on them. The cause and motive unclear. But for now, reporting live with breaking news at Stroger Hospital, I'm Jermont Terry, CBS 2 News.
All right, Jermont, thank you.
Someone made the executive decision to open fire on
Well,
these
Joe
young
and
men.
Erica, a family member did tell us that this was an accidental shooting. That family member did not want to be on camera, but tells us this was a heartbreaking situation.
I'm really sad to know that this has happened to him.
Right next door to Shirley Smith, 9-year-old Jarvis Watts was shot and killed on New Year's Day.
I can't even wrap my fingers around that. I can't. It's just sad.
Chicago police say the shooting happened in the 9400 block of South Wallace around 6:30 p.m. You can see police investigating both inside and outside the home. Police did not say where exactly in the home the shooting happened, just that officers found him inside and there were many adults and children there. Police say he lived with extended family. The medical examiner's office says Watts was shot several times. Smith says Watts was
An accidental shooting when you get
Probably
shot.
had a switch
several-
on it.
Oh yeah, maybe so. Yeah, maybe so.
Damn shame.
Little fucking kid, man. That motherfucker's gonna grow up. He's gonna get a lot of ass when he grew up, man. Oh, Albie Shaw looking motherfucker, man. Damn, fucked up, man.
therapist says
Sunshine.
Watts was shot several times. Smith says Watts was considerate and helpful.
He was a really happy child, from what I noticed. I would always see him taking the garbage out. And if there was garbage on my side, he would pick it up and take it out.
Less than 24 hours after the shooting, a school administrator who dropped off flowers at the home confirmed he attended Kipling Elementary School. Neighbors say he saw him walk to school.
I just saw them out here the day before playing football and running around, like kids.
Police say it's unclear how many gunshot wounds the boy suffered or who fired the shots. Also going on to say it's too early to say if negligence is involved or if this is a criminal matter. We do know many of the family members were brought in for questioning.
I really feel for the family, that they have to go through that.
One thing I've
Of course, it's a criminal matter. What are you talking about? A 9-year-old was murdered due to the recklessness of the adults in the home.
No, but the family said it was an accident, didn't you hear? So it's okay.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
No, he didn't mean to do that. But like, have y'all noticed that son kids, like son boys, basically they tend to smile less and less in photos, like as they get older, until the point where they're not smiling anymore, and then things tend to go bad.
Yeah, I mean, smiling is not like cool to be, teen, especially if you're a tough guy. If you're supposed to be tough, you don't show that by smiling. And the only way you smile is if you got gold teeth or a grill. Then you'll smile. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, smiling ain't the thing to do, man.
There are still a lot of unanswered questions. Last night, police said that they did not have the gun. And when we asked them today if the gun was recovered,
the kid has multiple gunshot wounds. The police show up. They talk to adults. The gun is, no one knows where the gun is, but we don't know if this is a criminal matter.
Charge every last one of them.
Might have been mutual combat.
Yeah.
they would not say. Reporting live outside of police headquarters. Sharday Gray, CBS 2 News.
It's so sad, Sharday. So many of these victims already in the new year, so young. Thank you for the update.
But when this happens,
A teenager is recovering in a hospital this afternoon.
Like when this happens here, because it happens a lot. Like this scenario, the police usually find out the story.
Yeah. I mean, if there's no gun, that's obvious that somebody's trying to hide something. Because
somebody's lying. Who's lying and why you lying, and who's going to get charged for lying, and who did it?
The gun, there's no gun. Come on.
A teenager is recovering in a hospital this afternoon after police say he was shot at least twice. Investigators tell KPRC2's Rowan Belogan the 18-year-old was walking home from work.
Houston police tell me it's unclear if this shooting was targeted or random. Houston police searching for a shooter they say shot an 18-year-old at least twice overnight at this apartment complex between Elmside Drive and Gessner Road in the West Chase area. Detective Rios Hernandez leading the investigation.
The victim was indeed coming home from work and he was walking towards his apartment when this incident occurred. And so after the shooting, he was able to get up and run to his apartment and alert his parents.
She said none of the victim's belongings were taken. His headphones and bag remained at the shooting scene. Investigators spent the early hours going through the scene looking for additional evidence, shell casings, surveillance video, anything they can find to identify the gunman.
I mean, he was coming home from work. To my understanding, he had ride the bus, Metro bus, and so after work he came here. He could have met with somebody, I'm not sure.
Investigators say they really need the public's help here because they don't yet have a suspect description, asking for anyone who may have heard anything, seen anything, or know of any information to call them or Crime Stoppers. I'm Ramon Belogan, KPRC 2 News.
Tonight, another teenage life taken too soon in Columbus. This is a picture of 15-year-old Unique Prater. She was found shot to death on New Year's Eve. Good evening. Thanks for staying up late with us.
Wait a second. A 15-year-old girl was killed in Columbus, Ohio? Man, this should be a national story, like the last time a 15-year-old girl got shot in Columbus, Ohio. I think her name was Kayla Bryant.
They ain't going to say her name.
It was LeBron, man. Wow.
I'm sure he's busy. I give him a break.
Yeah, he got game, my bad. Yeah, road trip, long road trip. Salute to Savrix, man. Yo, 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 you the best. Only here on Ad Nation. Yeah, man. Salute to Savrix, man. Savrix, man, the deep one, man. Savrix is a deep, deep, deep thinker, man. Um, let's see, man. Let's see what happened to this young lady, man.
And real quick,
On New
to
Year's
your
Eve.
point of predictability, it's always the same thing. The violence needs to stop.
Yeah, the violence, as if it's its own entity unto itself. It's not dependent on a person being violent with an object.
Right.
It's really it's sun. It shows you that like these things are DNA. I saw an interesting video the other day where they was talking about family styles across the world. And I really want to do a live stream on that, man, one day, maybe on Rumble. The different family styles from the different groups and how they like exactly like correlate to the lot of those people in the world, their lot in life. And they were talking about the sun, where the sun people live at, their family, our family styles. With it's not nuclear family. We don't. There's nowhere in the world where some people have a nuclear family um, system. That doesn't exist. That's a European. That's an Anglo. That's not even European. That's an Anglo-Saxon. The nuclear family model. Other places got clans. Some people have like different type of family styles, but we don't. In Africa, 50% of the women are in polygamous relationships. 50%. There's no like husband and wife shit in anywhere. And then here, most of the women are baby mamas or single mothers.
Wow, I've never thought of that, but that's a great point. Did they expound or give a thought process of why that is?
I'm gonna drop it in the back chat, the video. I gotta find it. And y'all can watch it on your own, but I definitely want to do a live stream. It's crazy. It shows this guy's trying to make it seem like it's not DNA. But when he shows it in the video is that the people that do this method is because of it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, he's trying to like show that it's not DNA. It's another reason. It's family styles. But it's very interesting.
Tonight, another teenage life taken too soon in Columbus. This is a picture of 15-year-old Unique Prater. She was found shot to death on New Year's Eve. Good evening. Thanks for staying up late with us. I'm Bennett Haberly. 10 TV's Ashley Bornanson spoke with some of the friends of Unique Prater who say this violence needs to stop.
I couldn't wrap my mind around it at first because she is a kid.
Just a kid who is now part of a growing statistic. Another teenager shot and killed in Columbus.
Just this situation makes me sick.
Except Sheena Bryce and her children say Unique Prater isn't just another number.
She's funny, sweet, beautiful, intelligent.
She actually cared about people's feelings. Like you could go to her and talk to her about anything.
Bryce.
Okay, she's funny. Okay, I thought we was gonna get. I was like, oh shit, she's funny. But at least they saved it at the end. You know, she seemed like a good person because these are rare traits. What they just show you right here is a very rare traits in some community. And I mean, I get it. I mean, like people got to be tough. They got to be hard. You can't be soft around it. But yeah, these are very rare traits this girl has.
Situation makes me sick.
Except Sheena Bryce and her children say Unique Prater isn't just another number.
She's funny, sweet, beautiful, intelligent.
She actually cared about people's feelings. Like you could go to her and talk to her about anything.
Bryce says Prater was a bright young teen with her whole life ahead of her, with friends who were as close as siblings.
He said some people are more like lion prides. Yeah, we're different. I put the video in the back chat too, and in the link y'all can watch it. It's very deep. They talk about the family styles of people in the Indian subcontinent, the Arabs, and they all equate to their lot in the world. All their family styles in the nuclear family from the Anglos,
right?
You can see how they dominated the world just by their family style. Salute to Mayo, $5 challenge. Yeah, Mayo Monkey in the building, man. Salute to you. Let me put this thing in the back chat.
And
Yeah,
I can't.
man. Huh?
I was gonna say, and I can't remember who said it on the panel a few minutes ago, but why some men start, or rarely you see them smiling in pictures as they get older. This is why Blackistan just takes their innocence and their happiness away. I mean, these are three young boys right here, and they're having to deal with something like this at way too early of an age.
And it
My
definitely
question is, how do you know any of those are boys?
Damn.
And then secondarily, you are definitely correct, bro. Like Blackistan growing up as a youngster in Blackistan, just the death and poverty and all the shit you're exposed to so young, it makes you stop smiling. I don't have very many pictures where
Yeah,
I'm smiling.
that is a good answer to that question.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's sad, man. These kids probably know some 15, by the time you're 15 in a place like Columbus, a dozen people. Peers. Maybe not they all go to your school. Maybe some go to the rec, maybe some go to your church, maybe some go to your school, maybe some from the neighborhood. But about 12 people your age that have died from like a gangster, like they died gangland style murders.
I loved her. Like that was like my sister.
According to Columbus police, officers were called to the 1200 block of Atchison Street around 3:40 p.m. on Saturday on the report of the deceased woman. When officers arrived, they found Prater suffering from a gunshot wound alone on the ground. She was then pronounced dead at the scene.
It hurts me to know that somebody has such utter disregard for a child in her life and left her out here to be found by somebody else is horrible.
Bryce says though they will never be able to fully heal, the family deserves answers and someone to come forward. What happened to Unique and why was she left alone to die?
The violence needs to stop.
Yep.
It's continuing and it's getting worse and worse, and it's just not okay.
Do situations like this scare you at all?
Yeah. Cause I be thinking like I could be next. Like this violent stuff, it just gotta stop.
In Columbus, Ashley Bornanson,
This violent stuff, we gotta stop.
10 TV News.
So far, there are no suspects in this case. Anyone with information is asked to call police at the number on your screen, 614-645-4730.
And now in court today, that 44-year-old man arrested for allegedly shooting a woman.
Yo, that's a rough looking brother.
Markeith.
God, dog. Whew.
And now in court today, that 44-year-old man arrested for allegedly shooting a woman in the head last week on a Metro Rail train. Markeith Jermaine Allison, now charged with aggravated...
That dude picture so scary. White boy couldn't even look at it too long. He turned rest. Oh, shit. Watch what he looks away. Scared the shit out of him just looking at the picture.
Shooting a woman in the head last week on a Metro Rail train. Markeith Jermaine Allison, now charged with aggravated assault. Annie Elliott Ruiz speaking with...
Aggravated, all right.
Now think about this guy, right? This same exact guy gets fucking like held down by the cops and fucking has a heart attack. He's a whole different person. We're talking about how, he was getting his life together. He was turning it around after years of struggling. And, although y'all got the wrong idea about him, he's really a decent guy. It'd be completely different.
The family of the victim, she is live outside the jail with the latest. Aniele?
Well, her family tells me they're relieved the suspect was arrested, and now they're praying that their loved one will recover soon. 27-year-old Mary Jo Kelly is in the medical center recovering.
So she was fucking with that guy.
What was her middle name?
Mary Jo Kelly?
Mary Jo, okay.
Young girl, man. She
didn't look bad at all.
No.
They were dating?
This is a domestic thing, yeah. I don't know if they were still dating.
Well, it says she was shot on the rail.
Yeah, but I think he chased her on there. It was
okay.
Kelly is in the medical center recovering from her injuries. Last Wednesday, she was shot in the head and arm while she was inside the Metro Rail on the 5400 block of Grigg Street.
She was texting her boyfriend, and he was like, come meet me on the train.
Sadly, Mary's younger brother says she didn't make it there safely.
Saw my sister walking to the train, and he just attacked her.
Oh, so the
Yeah,
boyfriend.
random.
Okay, I knew the boyfriend was in the picture, but the boyfriend was on the text with her.
No, she just
Okay.
encountered what any number of people, do every single day in this country, which is sunman-based violence in public transportation.
Yeah, she was just, just a random event. Like there's no rhyme or reason. Just
A sun hunter on the train system.
Yep.
Yeah, public transportation is not the place to be if you can avoid it.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, the odds of it happening to you are very slim. But she may have been like kind of like a
If it's going to
second.
happen to you, it's going to be pretty much exclusively a sunman doing it to
Exactly.
you.
Yeah,
Oh, of course. Yeah.
99% time. Salute to Deluxe 247, the real MVP, aka Cal Ripken, coming through once again.
There safely.
Saw my sister walking to the train, and he just attacked her.
According to investigators, Mary tried to get on the train to hide from 44-year-old Markeith Jeremiah Allison. They say Mary knew Markeith. Her family says he liked her, but she didn't like him.
She got into it.
So it wasn't
Okay.
random.
He liked her, but she didn't like him. I wonder why, man.
I wonder if that just means he was like, hey, he's hollering at her at the station or something.
She knew him. Now they say
Oh yeah, he did know her. So
could have been somebody from the neighborhood or somebody. I mean, listen. I mean, she a little nice, little sexy, little bust down.
Investigators, Mary tried to get on the train to hide from 44-year-old Markeith Jeremiah Allison. They say Mary knew Markeith. Her family says he liked her, but she didn't like him.
She got into it with the dude that day, prior to that day, and he left.
Court documents say investigators have surveillance video of Markeith entering the train and say he approached Mary and grabbed her by the back of her head and then fired his gun into her head. He shot her twice and fled the area on his bicycle.
It was evilness, hatred. He had the devil in him. I just was asking why this would happen to a sweet person like her.
Markeith was arrested over the weekend thanks to 3 tipsters who spotted him on the Metro bus and called police. Mary's family grateful he was caught.
Took some weight off me and my people's shoulders. This won't happen to another person again.
Mary was taken to the hospital where she was put in an induced coma and underwent surgery. Her family says she's lucky to be alive and feel a guardian angel was watching over her.
It's not getting worse. It's getting better. The swelling going down. The bleeding is stopping a little bit. They say one day at a time, step by step, and God say it's not a time. She's just getting better and better day by day, and I'm so thankful.
Well, the suspect's bond was set at $250,000. He's expected to appear in court on Wednesday. By the way, Mary's family has set up a GoFundMe account to help her with medical expenses. We'll have a link posted on our website with all of those details. Reporting live, Anayeli Ruiz, KHOU 11 News.
One day at a time, indeed. Anayeli Ruiz, thanks.
Tonight, we are hearing from friends of a tire shop worker killed on New Year's Eve, allegedly by a customer who police say mistakenly thought the worker was stealing his car.
The suspect, 30-year-old Quadarvius McDowell, now is facing murder charges. Our Palacero is live outside the DeKalb County Magistrate Court, where the suspect appeared before a judge just hours ago.
Yeah, and Jeff, no bond was set for Quadarvius McDowell here today, but friends of the victim tell me that while they were glad an arrest was made, this should have not happened in the first place.
He really was the class clown, like the school clown, really. Not even his...
Right.
Who is saying sunmen with Scottish or Irish last names are particularly dangerous?
Oh yeah.
He was from the McDowell clan, man.
Yeah, I didn't know that most of the white people in the South were from Ireland and like
It kind of makes sense if you cross Sun and Irish people that
Yes.
something truly horrible.
Yeah, most of those people that came in the early settlers in the southern colonies were
They were a rough bunch.
Scottish, yeah.
Yeah,
Irish.
Irish, Scottish, Welsh.
They were the original song words, Zach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were. They were a rough bunch, and they weren't, and they were not like the English. They were
Oh, the
not.
English thought they were basically the same thing as Sun people for a long time.
They
That
were
was the
not
official stance.
industrious. Yeah, they weren't industrious. They weren't innovators, and that's why they relied on slavery, because it's a brutish type economy. They couldn't but they were a rough bunch, man. They held it down in the Civil War, being outclassed in every way. They still fought hard.
His own class.
He kind of made you want to be like a better you when he was around. You know, made you want to just do things better for yourself as well.
Cameron Howell L. and Andrea Davis rang in the new year with the loss of their friend, 24-year-old Daniel Gordon. Gordon was shot and killed while working at Tires Plus on DeKalb Industrial Way Saturday.
It's awful in the sense of like losing somebody you knew and had memories with, and then also he wasn't doing anything he shouldn't be doing. We go to our jobs every day and we think we do it to make a living, to survive. And somehow he went to work that day and it was the opposite. And it's really messed up.
30-year-old Quadarius McDowell is facing murder charges in Gordon's death and appeared before a judge Monday. DeKalb County police say McDowell brought his car in for service, then shot Gordon after he saw Gordon get into his car and mistakenly thought he was trying to steal it.
It's not even a...
Think about that, man. Like, think about it. Like, damn, it's just so
You
sad.
getting in there to like vacuum the car and Cordarvia shoots you.
And then
Smokes you.
runs, and then he runs, gets caught, struggles with police, goes
And he's
to
just
jail.
one step away from sainthood.
Yeah, it's almost like an animal. Like, I mean, and I'm not talking about all Sun people, but these type, like, you're at a tire shop, there are other customers there. The workers are milling around, buzzing back and forth, bringing people's cars up. Like, they come up with your keys. You know how they come up with your keys and they give it to the person behind the counter, and then they go back, the mechanics and stuff. And then they come up, they get in the next car, they drive it back around. Everybody just doing their job. All of a sudden, you see gunfire. And then you see some fool running off with like his pants falling off his ass. And it's like, what the fuck just happened? And it's like, oh, he thought that someone stole his car. It's like, oh, but yeah, I guess, yeah, that would make you upset, but just weird, man. Weird.
wrong time, wrong place situations anymore. It's just you have to be really careful and really safe, and you never know what happened.
In a statement, the company Gordon worked for told 11 Alive today, Daniel was a valued member of their organization who had been with them for 8 months. It adds that he will be deeply missed. His high school friends who looked at Gordon as their little brother agree. They say he was a great football player and a loyal friend who always made people laugh.
Down to earth, kind-hearted person. He couldn't really do no wrong, you know. He just brightened up your day if you was having a bad day. Constantly made you laugh. Constantly goofing around, and he was just a big goofball.
Now back out here again, no bond set for McDowell. There's still no date for his preliminary hearing either. We'll keep you updated on that if that changes. Now we'll send it back to you, Jeff.
All right. This year, more juveniles have been shot and more have been arrested for violent crime. Just part of what reporter Ted Oberg and the NBC4i team are looking into tonight. Ted?
Leon, as we close out this year here in D.C., there are things to commend. Homicide in the district is down this year, slightly, but it is down. And so are serious assaults. But remember what those women just told Paul Wagner in his report. They're concerned about young people. Our babies are dying, she said. And when you look only at juveniles in our city who've been victims of gun crime, it's dangerously increasing. The most recent numbers from D.C. police show 90 separate times where juveniles have been shot this year in the
And every city is like wasn't in Chicago, 100 had been killed in Chicago.
Every one of these stories you could copy and paste to any city in America right now.
In the 70s, 80s report, and it would have said black kids.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And 20 years before that, it was the Negro problem.
Yep. Negro kids are killing each other at a high alarming rate. Now it's just
And
like
white men are perplexed as what to do about this problem.
everybody. This makes you think like if you're like from another country and you see this, you think like, wow. So like maybe
They get a white
30.
reporter out there. Why do you fellows kill each other so quickly and in such high rates?
They're going to want to interview a group of Asian kids. They're going to be like, what are you talking about?
And they feel like, why are you Negroes so violent these days?
Yeah.
This is
Man.
literally in DC. I promise you, if 3 of these are on burritos, I would be shocked. But I would guarantee you at least 87
in
of
excess
these.
of 95%, man.
At least 87 of these.
How many are Gladys, right?
None.
Are
The
you
city,
serious?
it is
No.
up 78% from last year.
Unless
But
some
just
glider got hit with a fucking stray bullet, but none.
as concerning and more connected to that Pennsylvania Avenue shooting yesterday, DC police say the number of young people arrested for first-time violent crime is higher than it's been in years. We don't know the suspects' records from yesterday's shooting. They haven't been identified. But overall, DC police arrested 97 young people this year for violent crime who'd never been arrested before.
You hear that? 97 arrested for violent crime at their first offense. Their first rodeo is a violent crime.
They jumped out the porch strong.
Yeah, and that's why it's no solutions, because there's no longer a graduation of crime. Whereas before, some teens would do things, but they weren't. Yeah, steal, vandalize, and if they got caught, they would get punished and hope and get mentored and talked to, and then hopefully, maybe 1 out of every 1,000 it would click. But now that's gone. No hope.
Yeah, I mean, these kids are jumping off the porch with violence. And when he's talking about violence, he's talking about shooting and carjacking.
In past years, police say troubled teens would usually enter the criminal justice system for a minor crime, vandalism, theft, shoplifting, things like that. But now they're seeing a trend of teens jumping straight to gun crime. DC police don't have a clear answer as to why, but point out it is a frightening reality that gives police officers.
Well, I mean, they know there's no consequences. There were consequences.
Can't imagine why the officers would be, anxious about engaging them.
Hell no. If you lose your job, you branded the racist.
Social service agencies and their families less of a chance to redirect a troubled teen away from crime before it ends in violence. In a year when police should feel better about a drop in overall crime in the district, it's not a good sign. Ted Hoberg, News 4 IT.
As a disabled Bridgeport grandmother faces eviction from the only house she's ever known, a local attorney has advice for the public tonight on how to avoid this kind of nightmare. Frank Recchia has the story.
My mom and my dad purchased this house.
Step into the world of disabled grandmother Karen Timmons of Bridgeport, and you'll meet a woman who has never known any home except for this one on Cedar Street, where she's lived ever since her parents brought her home from the hospital just a few days after she was born.
And now I'm here with my 3 children and my 3 grandchildren, and I don't want to leave.
But she knows that family memories, no matter how happy, will never stop a foreclosure or an eviction process.
They had eviction papers.
She says she fell behind on common.
Was there a man in that picture? Nope. No man anywhere.
Crazy question.
I'm just looking, man. I'm just trying to see. So she's a single mother.
Process.
They had eviction papers.
She says she fell behind on common charges and expects to be evicted from the house within a matter of days, even though she says she has the money to settle the debt.
I'm nervous every day.
But Karen has applied for a stay to buy her maybe an extra week or two.
It's been really hard because this is the #1 thing on my mind every day. This rod.
On top of everything else, Karen has peripheral vascular disease and might soon have to have her right leg amputated.
This is a nightmare for you and your family.
Yes, it is.
One of the problems with situations like Karen's is that it starts out on a small scale, and before you know it, they're overwhelmed with the debt, with the problems physically, financially, emotionally.
Attorney Mark Aarons says Karen's situation is a classic example of what thousands of Connecticut residents are going through as an eviction epidemic grips the country.
Not only is it a financial tsunami, but the court system can be a tsunami on you too. And with all of that, it's just hard to deal with.
Aaron says the best way to protect yourself, if like Karen, you're facing foreclosure, eviction, or both, is to get expert legal advice any way you can. And
good luck to that sister, man. Hopefully she can fucking make it on, man. I'm gonna get some water, man. Give me a city. I hold it down while I go get some water.
Hey, Wicked. I was driving out west the other day, and I saw a billboard. I can't remember exactly what it said, but what I caught in the minute I saw it was this sun woman with like a big shitty grin on her face, right? Kind of laid back, stretched out, and there was a quote on the screen, presumably from her. And the quote said something to the effect of, I don't care if I have to leave the world burning if I don't, if something to the effect of, I won't stop pushing equity even if it leaves the world burning.
Sounds about right.
And I'm like, damn, if that ain't like, they're
Yeah.
out there screaming it in the streets, man. That ain't,
Yep.
you're right, sister. You are definitely
Well,
right.
they're doing more than screaming it, brother. They're doing it.
Yeah, they're bringing the torches and adding to the fuel.
They're bringing the pain. That's for sure, Chief.
Mm-hmm. Lord have mercy.
Like when who knew? I will never not be stunned when the mayor said equity for the city. She meant make it equally violent.
I really do think that's what they mean. They want to spread the violence out. I mean, that's probably
Yes,
better
they
for them
want,
politically.
yes, they think if they can spread it out, they will submit to it all faster.
I mean, deep down they know who's causing it, but they also feel like, man, why we gotta have all the deaths in our
Well,
community? Why we
right.
can't get
Nah,
gliders to take some of
For
this shit?
sure.
I think they're weaponizing the crime.
Yeah, that too,
I think they
probably.
Yeah.
weaponize it. They weaponize it against their political enemies.
But I think they also believe their nonsense, dude. I believe that
Yeah,
they think
they
that
are actually indignant about the fact that why does this community have to bear all the violence in the country? Well,
right.
because y'all
But
commit all the
I
violence.
agree. I agree, how black. But I also believe that they think that these kids are shooting each other because of you name it, because of nonsense. They really believe that shit. They're not. They
Yeah,
don't not
true.
believe it. You
They
know what
don't
I mean?
understand that it's about you know stepping on a shoe or like sneezing too
Yeah.
loud, like you said.
Yeah. You wouldn't understand how black you're a glider. You know, like
Yeah,
it,
well, that's the scary truth, man. Is a
it's
lot
not.
of gliders do not have any concept or understanding of this problem.
It's not about the shoe, right? It's about the fact that I'm not a bitch. You
Yeah.
know, now you must die. You
Right.
know,
The pride, the threshold to overcome, your like the violence threshold they have to overcome is very, very low. Their
right?
pride
It's very
being
low.
snuffed at all.
Like if you don't apologize, and I still might shoot you, but if you don't apologize, you might as well spit in my face. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You might as well fuck my girl. I
Right.
gotta kill you.
You've done something so heinous that it's gonna have to be responded with your life.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to unload my weapon recklessly at you without aiming, hit a
Yeah.
kid, and
Anybody and he's gonna catch it too.
I don't care who gets hit. Someone has to get hit. It doesn't even have to be you.
And this is happening everywhere in the country at the same time every day, and people can't connect the dots somehow.
No. But I'm telling you how black these people like Lightfoot, Kim Fox, all of these people truly believe that they're doing what they're doing because of like segregation and because of redlining and because of the six. It's a bunch of horseshit, but they believe it though, and that's one of the
Yeah,
biggest
Violent.
I
problems.
mean, most of the people who are really moving the movement are young enough to have been taught this shit from birth, damn near, and they believe it. Like
Right.
they truly believe that it's the reality for people in places they've never met and never been.
Did y'all see that guy, the young guy on Gen Z he did the interview with, who was like he needed a citation for every other word that Z said? That's exactly who I think we're talking about here. Is like violence does not stem from rap; it stems from poverty in, it's just like
Right.
the most
I
tired shit, man.
at the time I hate I was. Do you know who Crime Chaser is? Martin Johnson.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
So I listen to him. I follow him because I just can't. He represents that population. He represents the South and West Side very well. But he had the audacity to say a big part of it is the video games. But last time I checked, the Tigers love video games, if I'm not mistaken. So when are they gonna
Everybody
start
does,
shooting?
right?
Everybody does, but Tigers in particular, they love that shit, right? So when are they gonna start shooting everybody?
Well,
Like,
it's the same thing with none of the problems that are claimed to be the result, that cause this, that are experienced by plenty of other communities, not only here but all over the rest of the world. I mean, they don't
right?
result in this same kind of ultra
No,
violence in the cities. Maybe in some places, but
maybe it'll be. There has to be. Maybe there's an outlier, but have like maybe any moment now, the the Tiger kids are gonna start carjacking people. Any moment now.
oh yeah,
Maybe it's
well,
gonna maybe
maybe
it's
they
gonna
just
start.
haven't reached a high enough concentration,
Yeah, right.
or
So
it
he
could be
was.
that they're just fundamentally different.
So I don't know if you follow the Crime Chaser, right? But he started doing a thing where people call in. People call in, and he'll throw a topic out there, and they'll call in like, and the people in him, especially him, but the people say some outlandish shit. And then when I think of like what Ike has explained, like the lack of self-awareness is what is glaring to me.
I really think when people like Kang ZX come up on here, everybody else needs to back down and let Ock talk to him, because there's
I think
no
so.
the
I
threshold that he's got the same threshold problem. Any small amount of pride challenging to him will cause him to blow his top and start where drop your
Oh
Addy
yeah,
on you.
100%.
So, but if Ock has this way of like slowly unraveling the onion with these guys, that I think the slow blade pierces the shield here. If you get that
Yeah,
reference.
I think that's a great idea. I think all of us need to work on that, including myself. But because I've
It's
seen
very
that.
hard to stay cool when talking to those guys, man.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it. I do what you said, but then there's me, there's AP, there's Mayo, and it's like,
Yeah, no
it,
offense to Mayo, we love you, but when we jump on with Kang ZX, it just causes a firestorm that grows larger and larger.
yeah, Mr. Charlie.
Yeah, exactly. Not that it's not funny as hell, because it is. We got
Yeah,
some
it is
great
funny
lines
as
out of that.
fuck. But there is no way that people like King, whatever the fuck, they had to know what's going on. As much as it hurts, because it's a hard pill to swallow.
He
Even
does
even
not know what's
us,
going on.
even the Breedles, no, or the gliders, nobody's perfect, man. Like it's hard, but the song community is really really struggling, right? That's a hard pill to swallow, man. I imagine.
To be completely honest, I'm not even sure I would care if it weren't for the fact that it comes out of it so often and like destroys the lives of people in other communities as well, which is like what
Right.
some people claim to be happening to them every day from us.
Exactly. And that's where I think me and you are on the same page in that it will
Yeah,
be
there's no
their
greater
problem.
threat in this country right
It
now.
will be their problem because that's what they wanted to be, but it's that's not the case. It's not just their problem,
No,
dude.
it's all of our
It's
problems.
all of our problem. Like I've said before, I generally live like in fear, I guess, of like someone that I care about getting hurt, getting carjacked, getting murdered in a robbery. You know,
Yeah.
and,
Again,
and
it's again, it's to be noted that these issues are really isolated in just really specific neighborhoods and cities.
I
You know
think,
what I'm saying?
but there,
Because where I live, me and the some people who live around me, this is just not our reality, right?
Yeah,
Now
we do have to be careful here
we don't
because we're
have
in
to
an
go
echo chamber
far.
ourselves.
Right. Exactly. You have to realize that there are large swaths of the country where they see no crime, literally
but
no
look, but
Yes.
crime.
look,
Hmm.
but look,
Right.
Stunner, this is the thing that you gotta understand, brother. I know a lot of brothers here that are solid men. Like they're a man of my own, right? I know a lot of them around here. The problem is that there's a large, like a overwhelming concentration of these dudes that are like not like these brothers that I'm referring to you, like that I mentioned a
I
second
know.
ago.
You talking about, I mean, it's the
So
stand,
so
you know what I
so
mean?
so you could
It's the
throw so you
stand.
could so you could throw those fucking insufferable piece of shit motherfuckers where you're at, and I guarantee you it'll crumble sooner or later. I would
Oh,
say
without a
sooner.
doubt. But again, the people where I'm at, I mean, a lot of the people here they moved here. You see what I'm saying? So again, this goes back to the conversation I think you and me was having a while back about why people even live in near the stand, or you know what I mean, or stay near it. I done lived so many different places
Right.
that like some people decades before me who followed the jobs. That's kind of
Yeah.
how I lived my life. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see how people can just stay in areas where, you know what I mean, 2 and 3 members of a family get killed and they still just stay on the same block. Like that kind of
Right.
thought process is foreign
Yeah,
to me.
yeah, it's
The
tough.
same way you can get hit by a hurricane and stay in the same area. They just think,
Yeah.
you know,
That
it's going to
same
happen and there's
concept.
nothing we
It's
can do about
foreign.
it.
Nah, you got to go. If you
So
stay, you're subject to what happens,
yeah.
Yeah,
whether it be
that's
bullets
true.
or
But
tornadoes.
Did you say where you were from, Stunner? I don't remember if you mentioned where you're at.
Kentucky originally, but now stay in Tennessee.
Oh, so you're in Tennessee, and it's pretty much Gliders where you're at.
Yeah.
Okay. How many? Like, what's the Sun population right there?
I think of the last census, we was like 2%.
Oh shit. Okay. What about on burritos? Probably less than that.
No, actually, burritos are flowing into this area like crazy. So burritos is like 3-4% now in my area.
Wow.
Oh,
So
okay.
hold on. You're like divested with a capital D, like
With
all
a capital D, my G.
So your kids, the teams y'all play on, all the kids are fucking white, or they're black kids.
The Stunner Junior go to a private Christian school where he's the only brown kid on his whole team.
So your team sucks, man, right?
Nah, they 3-1. Nah, we good.
Oh,
We good.
oh,
And Stunner
okay.
Junior is nice.
Oh, so your kid is how old is your kid?
He's 12.
And how tall are you, Stunner?
Shit, I'm 5'9", but Stunner Junior is smaller than the average kid his age.
Okay, so he's gonna be like a point guard or something like that.
Yeah, he's starting point guard.
Okay, man. Hey, man. Let's see, man.
Does
Matt,
he like it? He likes it where he's at. Like
He loves it.
Of course he
loves
likes
it
it.
because yes,
is
because
And I
he
bet you he
plays
smiles a lot.
a lot because he plays
that's good, man.
AAU. He
Good.
plays AAU
There's not that like
basketball.
tension in the air.
Yeah, right. With kids
Exactly.
who live in the metro area and they tell him what their experience is like. I want them to tell him. I
Yeah,
want him to
hell
tell
yeah.
How many times have the gliders lined up outside the school with the pickets and stuff?
Right.
Never. They've I think that's
Oh, that's
happened maybe like
weird.
never. Yeah,
with
yeah.
Jerry Jones, man.
Yeah, I'm
Yo,
sure.
if you don't mind me asking, and I know it's kind of, I don't know if you feel comfortable answering, but is he kind of woke a little bit? Not really.
No, none. He's as conservative as they come as you could be for a 12-year-old.
Because
Oh,
you
wow.
school him, right? You pretty much put him on, right?
Yeah, but I don't just tell him stuff. Like I show him like what we talking about, like the results of what we talking about, and why the people who live near us, why they're here, and why the people who aren't. You know what I mean?
It's not because of their race.
Nope.
Have you introduced him to Akintunde or not really?
Nah, I wouldn't let him watch this stuff.
Akin's a bad influence. You're not wrong.
Didn't I show you my demographics, man? Ain't nobody that young watching this shit.
Yeah, ain't nobody
You
under the
gonna
age
get a
of
letter
30.
talking about how he's talking about sunmen and gliders in class.
Yeah, he's
Stunner, we need to discuss. Stunner
he's a
Junior.
sun tiger, right? Your kid's a sun tiger, right?
Yeah, he's sun tiger.
And your wife, is she East Asian or Southeast Asian? Hello?
She Japanese.
Oh, so she's East Asian.
Yeah.
Okay.
The better Asian, right?
The smarter ones, but they're not. I don't know better, but smarter. Yeah.
Well, that's
They are
kind of what I meant.
definitely.
Actually, my
I would
bad.
say of all of the Asians, they are definitely the most supremacist.
Yeah, their country's very homogeneous. You go to Japan, you only gonna see Japanese.
Yeah, they went out of their way to prove that for sure.
I mean, they conquered China. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yes, and they still to this day think they're better than all of them. If you ask me,
Their rise. I've studied a lot about Japanese history, man. the Shoguns. This is what do they call it? The
Samurai.
samurais, yeah, and things like that. And very, very interesting culture, man. Very, very interesting people. They rise, man. They rose from like basically being like they were never barbarians because they always had a written language and they always had a structured society. But they rose from basically, not like having any contact with the rest of the world, to being isolationist to being a world power in like 40 years. I literally took them 40 years.
Right. And then they fell off.
Well, yeah, they got their ass kicked in the war, and listen, not for nothing, man. We had the bomb. They would have never stopped.
Yeah, they would have never stopped. And
They
they
have
know it.
they have a mentality where they just don't care about their own lives.
I mean,
Their
they might
own,
have stopped after we sacrificed needlessly the lives of hundreds of thousands more people that did not need to die over stupid, pointless conflict like that.
yeah.
My wife and her family, they don't hold a grudge. They
That's
know
what
that they were ready to go. That the Japanese people of that day were ready to go all the way.
the wokes. They always say is like we didn't need to bomb them. So yeah, maybe we didn't. We just had to sacrifice like 500,000 more of our young white men to do it,
and black
and
men.
Sun men too.
Yeah, some men will go. Some men will down
Men
with
of
the
every
cause.
race. For the fact of the matter is,
Yes.
it didn't need to happen.
Let me show you this, guys. Mass shootings. So we've had 7 mass shootings this year, and one that I think is a probable. But so I mean, Allentown, PA. This is my not. I wouldn't say my neck of the woods, but it's on my side of Pennsylvania. 4 shot at a rec center. Then we have wow, it's just bizarre, man. I mean, you have a mass shooting at a rec center, and it goes completely unreported. You have this one in Oklahoma City, a mass shooting, and then we have this one in Clinton, Maryland. I mean, all of these
This
are
should be the
sons.
biggest red pill here for anybody who was like looking at this with any kind of questioning eye. Like, what? I mean, but if you don't know, if you're not here all the time, you don't know that all these are some people because we can see the context clues and all of it.
No, but like again, would they have a reason why they're doing this? That's
Durham, North Carolina. You got Durham. You know that, son. You know the Chicago. You know that, son. And look at this. This stuff's been going on for a while. Look at this. This is 2013. McKeesport. This is he does flashbacks on this channel. This guy shot 4 people at a New Year's Eve party. That's something we just saw. And then there was another one on this date. This date, January 1st, 2013. There was 1, 2, 3. This guy,
man, the block party.
And this is 2013. You would think that it wasn't a big deal back then, but
It only really got bad after 2020.
Nah, the Obama's second term, it shit exploded. It became normal during Obama's second term.
He shot 4 people at a gas station. This guy right here, I can't. His whole picture's on the next page, but he just a regular Southern man. Shot 4 people at a gas station. So I mean, like this has been going on for a while now. Not for nothing. 753 mass shootings last year is about double what you had.
That's a crazy number.
Yeah, 753 mass shootings last year, and yeah. So yeah, 2013 there was another one at 5 people were shot, 2 were killed in Sacramento. 2013, look all these. Every 2015 there was a mass shooting on January 1st. I mean, January 1st is a hotbed for mass shootings.
So we can confidently say, like right now, 100% of the mass shootings in 2023 have been committed by Sun people.
Yeah, 2023 so far, I would say 100% of them have been committed.
But having looked at the data for last year, I can say with high confidence that over 700, probably maybe 50 or so of the shootings last year were not Sun people.
Yeah, I was going to ask, do we know the team breakdown?
I sorted the data, and like you can sort by things like juvenile shooter, juvenile victim, unknown gunman. Anytime there's a shooting with 4 or more people shot in the unknown gunman, that's a dead giveaway. It's a son shooting because that shit ain't happening with anybody of any other race for the most part.
Yeah, because I was going to say if this was any other group, we would know these people on the first name basis.
Anyone where you have a toddler shot in their house, anyone. I mean, there's so many context clues that are almost 100%, indicators of a son
I
shooter.
I go by the ratio.
What's that?
Yeah, like the shot to kill ratio.
Yeah, definitely. So 2021, you had 818 mass shootings. So we were down. We did a little better. So it was 753. 2020, we had 696. 2019, you had 503. What happened in 2020? But 2018, you had 426. 2017, you had 427. 2016, you had 477.
Look at them, unknown.
2015, you had 371. 2014, you had 325 mass shootings, and in 2013, you had 339. So it's I think what happened was so once what's that kid Freddie Gray happens, and it kind of like Michael Brown, that's when it kind of like upticks to the 400 and 500 range. And then you have George Floyd when it just goes through the roof. We're now at like 750, 800 a year.
I think Trayvon Martin kicked it off for a lot of people.
Yeah, I can't go far back and see what they were like before Trayvon. It only goes back to 2013, but I'm sure it was much lower.
I would say Emmett Till.
Wow, look, so last year there were 2.1 mass shootings a day. God damn.
859 killed, 2,982 wounded. So,
Jesus Christ.
It's the product of like a small war annually for a nation.
Yeah. Like, wow.
Maybe even more than that. I don't know. I'm saying that with no numbers.
I will bet you that more people died in mass murders in the United States during the time we were in Afghanistan than soldiers died in Afghanistan.
Oh yeah, I'm sure Blackistan had a higher rate than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even close though. As far as soldiers killed in Afghanistan, there was we dominated them. We dominated Afghanistan.
Mayo, I think your mic's sounding a little hot. Or no, it's not hot, but it's like you're coming from a distance or some shit.
The thing that still puzzles me, or panel, maybe y'all can break it down, is okay. So we're saying these individual events, Michael Brown, Freddie Gray, et cetera, sparks these things, but the group that those individuals come from are not doing the mass murders to any other group. It's internal.
That's
right.
Mostly
So
true. Now you're really low, Mayo.
that's anybody got an idea of why that is? Because that seems odd. If you are, go ahead.
Listen, we're fucking like there's no rhyme or reason to the thing. Like what you're proposing is that like we kill our oppressors or we go against the people that we say are oppressing us.
Yes.
That takes like it takes like a plan and say collective, takes like moving in unison and a leadership and things like that for that. All these murders are just like, what? Huh? Fuck, what? Oh, man, it's up. Blah, blah, blah. Like, this shit ain't, listen, this shit is not like fucking, these aren't even blood feuds. This isn't even the Hatfields and McCoys. This is like, just like random chance encounters.
I mean, it's literally like giving a monkey a gun and like it shoots the first thing when it has an impulse. You know, it's terrifying in its lack of logic.
Yeah, I get that, but it's strange that, you know, these individual events occur and then there's a major uptick on the same against the same group of people. It just
So, were you saying that it's weird that like the mass shootings are only being committed in the Sun community against the Sun community? Am I taking you right there?
Yeah, because they're supposed to be getting outrage from these events that are police, involved situations. But instead of taking that anger out on another group, they're doing it to themselves. Even though they're supposed to be so upset at the police, so upset at the system, so upset at gliders, blah 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 blah
Well,
blah.
this is just the random expressions of the violence. The targeted hunting expressions of the violence are very often reserved for us. I mean, y'all slaughtering us pretty much. I mean, right that far outstrips what we're
I'm
doing
not
to
sure
some
about
people.
that, Hot Black. I
Yeah.
can't
You
vouch
don't
that.
think that you don't think more Sun
No,
people
you
are
guys
killing
get
gliders in this country than
you
gliders
guys
are
are
killing
getting
Sun people?
killed though in like
Oh yeah.
fucking.
That's
guys
what
are
I'm
getting-
saying.
Yeah, but it's these are crimes. You guys aren't get like if a son if you if the
No,
son
no.
make-
I totally agree with you there. When we're not, but if a Sun man was targeting a Sun man that lived in a glider neighborhood, then the glider infants would be getting shot up. You know, it doesn't matter. It's about who is targeting who, and it's definitely Sun people on Sun people doing that. But it is also affecting everybody in the vicinity as well, who happen to be mostly Sun people.
I think, wow, another basketball player died. I mean, another football player just died recently. I mean, died of a
Yeah, of a random occurrence. You talking about the former Jaguar player?
Yeah, this guy, Uchi
Yeah.
Noir. He said so on September 1st, 2021, he tweeted, okay, so let's get these vaccine mandates and vaccine passports up and running ASAP. We seeing children die daily from the unvaccinated selfishness. Pregnant women at risk too. Protect life, mandate the vaccine. Jail anyone who refuses to protect life.
Wow.
Hot take there.
Did you see the Buffalo's Bill player that went down on the field
Yeah,
tonight?
we talked about that earlier. Yeah, he's all right, man. He gonna make it, man.
Has pulse but not breathing on his own, supposedly.
Well, I mean, listen, I mean, Doctor Stunner said he gonna be all right, man. So
Nah, don't. No, there are conflicting reports. We heard the one that you just cited that he's essentially being kept alive by a machine, and we've also heard that his vitals have returned to normal, and he just has a breathing tube in until tomorrow morning, and they're going to remove it, and he's going to be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we heard, man. I mean,
This dude right here, all of these jab addicts, these people, these jab fans, many of them, I'm telling you.
that I'm jabbed and I'm boosted, man. I'm in trouble, man.
I got
I'm
26 shots.
Yeah, man. I took two. Man, that boost. I was like, I got the boost.
I went back for a second round just to make sure.
I'm like,
I said no, thank you.
I'm like, they giving this shit at CVS. I'm like, man, this is something ain't right about this shit. I'm sitting there at CVS. The lady comes out just poke. I'm like, what the fuck?
I remember when it first came out, man, I would drive past a high school in the area that I was staying in, and it was just lines and lines and lines of cars, and it just reminded me of a scene from one of the sci-fi movies where, people were just blindly just signing up and willingly allowing themselves to be injected with stuff. It was eerie. It really was.
It was that.
I was gonna say it was that movie.
True.
They introduced the thought of it to you through that movie, so when you saw it in real life, it wouldn't be that as jarring.
Predictive programming is what they call it.
This guy right here, though, they gonna say he was big, because he's a lineman, his weight, something to do with this. But that's 38 is very young, man. Very, very young age, man. A young man dead from a heart attack. Wow.
Just goes to show, don't get on Twitter and claim anything. Some fucking opposite is gonna happen to you.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
and how many more Sun men have died from this than killed by police? And you don't see them out there in front of Pfizer.
Because they don't, well, the community don't believe. The community is woke,
Yeah, the
essentially.
vaccine's
So
not white.
yeah,
You
the
put a white
vaccine is
hood.
not supremacy.
Exactly.
And because they brilliantly got other Sun quote unquote leaders and rappers and entertainers to really
Right.
sell this thing. And so Sun people are 100% in.
Yeah, they're on board.
Give me
Also-
a city, guys. Some city somewhere, man.
I'm about Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, I like Charlotte.
Yo, did you see you got a shout out on Jason Whitlock's show?
Oh yeah, my boy Steve Kim, man, right?
Yeah, you saw that?
Yeah, no, he shouts me out often, man. That's my buddy, man. He sends me a lot of stuff, man. That y'all see, man. He fucking.
Yeah, I'm about to say Steve gives Ak a lot of shout outs on
Yeah.
Whitlock show.
Steve, make sure y'all check out Steve Kim online too, man. He's a funny guy, man. Hilarious, man.
The Korean Cosell.
Yeah, exactly, man. Let's see what else is going on here, man. Oh wow, that's crazy right here. This is crazy.
Damn.
Right now at 6, we are continuing to learn more about a tragic accident near Uptown. Charlotte fire crews confirm 3 construction workers are dead after scaffolding collapsed from 70 feet up. This happened at a work site on East Moorhead and Euclid Avenue. We also know
R.I.P. to those hombritos, man. It's really fucked up, man.
Those who died when that building in New Orleans collapsed too. The Hard Rock that they were building.
Oh, a bunch of hombritos.
Yeah, they got crushed
Yeah, man.
because of some fucking corrupt contractors or some shit.
Yeah, there were still bodies in that for months
We'll discuss
afterwards
shortly.
because
Yeah,
it
it took a
wasn't
long
safe to go
time.
in and get them. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
We'll discuss shortly, but first tonight we're starting with this. The new year off to a violent start for the Queen City. We are just
I mean, is there anywhere that's not off to a violent start? I mean, like literally anywhere.
We'll discuss shortly, but first tonight we are starting with this. The new year off to a violent start for the Queen City. We are just 2 days into 2023 and CMPD is already investigating 3 deadly shootings across Charlotte. And one of those victims was a child. WCNC Charlotte's Jesse Pierre joining us.
You literally could like cut and paste that intro and just change the city's name everywhere.
Literally.
I think a
One of them
video
was a
like
child.
pointing that fact out somehow without words, but just like actually doing it and like adding these. A lot of these reporters are saying exactly the same thing in other cities, and if you just like overlaid them with each other, you could get like a pretty powerful message that like, hey, this is all happening everywhere, and it's all for the same reason.
I don't
In the
think
same
so.
group.
I don't think you can get a powerful message. I don't think you can move these liberals that have power now. First, Republicans, conservatives are soft. They're nice and soft, and they're not going to like evoke any emotion. And then the liberals, they're enjoying being in power. They're so power hungry, and
Yeah.
this kind of like this is anti. This doesn't give them power, so they would just completely ignore anything you did. There would be nothing would be a big message or convey a strong point to
There are
them.
no solutions.
It's live from Uptown to talk about what we're learning with these cases, but also hearing from local leaders. Jesse, have they talked about how they plan to respond to this?
They have. Well, first off, the feeling across the board is that these are all tragic and disturbing events, and more efforts are needed to put a stop to gun violence. And they say that it will take the entire community, everyone really coming together to see some real progress.
We do see a trend of overall crime going down. However, even one homicide is.
So this woman she's some kind of fucking researcher that's studying this shit for the city. That's like consulting with the the police chief of the mayor. This woman.
Well,
Yo.
they need to look at crimes that weren't prosecuted instead of just looking at, because all they're looking at now is they're saying crime's going down because less crime is being prosecuted.
Yeah.
However, even one homicide is way too many for us.
On the first day of the new year, 3 deadly shootings in the Queen City, one leaving a child dead. City Council member at large Dimple Eshmira says when it comes to gun violence, there's a lot of work that needs to be done.
We continue to work with county and our community partners, but we also must recognize that CMPD cannot fight violence on its own.
Community activist Brandon Brown says organizations are stronger together and should band together to get guns off the streets.
We're the example of the city, what goes on in the city, whether it pertains to gun violence, homelessness, whatever it is. As long as we come together, we align together and bring our resources together, I think that'll make better for our community.
Ajmer says the city continues to invest in its alternative to violence programs.
You work with an individual to make sure that they have stable housing, stable place to stay. They have
free housing. Free housing. That means in your neighborhood too. That means wherever they can find it. That means give these people housing in your fucking neighborhood.
Quandarius coming to a neighborhood near you.
Yeah, they have to give these people talking points because they all say the same thing.
It's really disturbing.
They're all the same
It's
person.
sickening. It's sickening. Yeah, it is the same person, just trickling it down to the minions.
Yeah,
Hey,
right. Or
you,
like when they,
this is what you stick to saying. These are the bullet points.
or maybe this program will finally make a difference. Pro tip: it's not going to help.
Nothing's gonna help.
No, there's nothing
work
new.
with an individual to make sure that they have stable housing, stable place to stay, they have an employment, and that they have the services that they need. So that deters them from committing crime.
She adds mentorship and teaching conflict resolution are also a big part of prevention efforts.
We got to instill in our young men and young women how to solve conflicts in a peaceful.
All of our young men are just a certain group of young men.
Right.
Focus CDs. Who are you?
Yo, what's good, bro? Focus CDS. What's good? CDS for City Don't Sleep. What's good, brother?
This your first time up here?
I think it's my first time on panel. Yeah, I definitely came across your show a couple times throughout the years, but yeah, first time on panel.
Okay, what do you think about this situation, man? You think that all kids need to learn how to resolve conflicts, or you think it's just one group of kids?
Do all kids? Well, I mean, all children should be. I mean, you have to learn how to, that's one of the most important lessons that your parents should be teaching you, as well as your community. No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But listen,
And young women.
Go ahead.
Can I go backwards for 1 second?
Go ahead.
All right. This Damar Hamlin shit, I think it's a little bit irresponsible of people to automatically jump. Like if it was 2 years ago and people said it was COVID, I would say the same shit to them. I think it's very irresponsible for the polarized voices to immediately attach something because they think it smells right to them. I think it's irresponsible. I think it's foul, especially if this kid doesn't pull through.
Are you talking about the jab?
Yeah, I'm talking about the Damar Hamlin situation.
You talking about people saying that he is his complications of the jab?
Yeah, what are these fucking polarized monkeys, bro? Bro, listen, you should have an IQ test for some of the people on this damn panel I heard speak. Number one, these motherfuckers up here just jibber jabbering, and I say the same thing to the polarized people on the left that
You
want
know
to.
how many soccer players have passed away or collapsed on the field from heart problems?
Do you
in
know
the
that
2
it's
years since the
do you
jab?
know that it's important to know something before you speak on it matter of factly, and you shouldn't do it an hour or two after a man might have died in front of our eyes? Do you
It's
know
an
you should have some
opinion-based show.
responsibility? Yeah, but all right, within an opinion, shouldn't you also bear some responsibility to the facts and some maybe a little bit of moral compass? Or is that
We
gone?
have facts. We have so many
Oh,
examples of
so you know
prime
Damar Hamlin.
athletes
So you know it.
collapsing.
You know it then. You know for sure that Damar Hamlin died from vaccine complications. You know this.
I'm not sure we're ever going to know because the mainstream
Yeah.
media is going to try to hide it from us.
All right. So fuck moral compass. Fuck moral compass. Fuck evidence, like actual evidence for his situation that just happened. Let's just get on the internet and just say shit like it's fact and spew it out, and then get other retards to follow it. That's the problem with society.
I didn't say it was a fact. I said it's
The
a
left and
possibility
right
and a
are both
likely
doing this, and it's
possibility.
destroying the country. And the people on both sides are too ignorant to realize that. The gray area has disappeared, and it is destroying this country. And people get on panels and circle jerk from one side to the other.
So are you you're calling us retards and circle?
No, not you. I'm not calling you. I'm calling the dude to a matter of factly stating it.
Can you tell us which guys you're talking about?
Honestly, bro, I'm not paying attention to how the bubbles are moving when they're talking. But before I came on, there was like at least two dudes who were very adamant and convinced about something that is strictly.
Was one of Ombrito?
Let me hear his voice.
No, I think Wicked was on this guy's side, but I will say, in a lot of other situations, we are quick to say, man, all these people are jumping to conclusions.
Yeah.
So there's that.
That's my problem, bro. And it's the same thing with the people who weaponize COVID. There's no difference between weaponizing COVID or weaponizing.
Yeah, I mean, I see some parallels to like jumping on the police immediately after something happens.
Can I ask him something, Ike?
Go ahead.
Hey, do you mind if I ask you a question, brother?
Who, me? Well,
Yeah, you.
Oh, yeah, of course, bro. That's what I'm here for, man. And mind you, it's all love, and I'm talking shit and saying retard and shit, but y'all can talk shit too. It's all love. It's not real hatred or nothing like that. Yeah, my bad.
I asked you a question earlier, right? Where he said, and let me finish if you don't mind.
I got you. Pardon me.
I asked you if all kids need help with conflict resolution, and what the news anchor, what they're referring to is the gun violence. They're implying that all kids are gunning each other down. Right? Do you agree with that? Do you think all kids are doing it, or who's doing it?
Well, I mean, listen, we all know that there's a higher propensity to gun violence in certain areas.
Yeah,
I mean,
but are there
what do you
any
mean?
kids of
What
any other
areas?
races sticking a gun in your face at
You could
14 years
say
old and jacking you of your vehicle, or is that exclusively a black problem? That's where
it's
I
not
want to hear you say it
exclusively.
though.
it is exclusively a black
No,
problem.
exclusively isn't true.
It's exclusive to the point that any of the, I mean, there's a negligible amount maybe that
You
is
could
happening.
say
For you to deny that fact is irresponsible.
Yeah, it's totally out of touch with reality.
No. Because exclusively means none of the
Okay,
other.
I will say
And that's not true.
There's like a token
Virtually
percentage that is not.
Yeah, 100%. Listen, there's certain crimes.
All right, so 99.5%.
I wouldn't say 99.5%.
95%.
There's a lot of
I wouldn't call it
dirty,
anymore.
there's a lot of dirty white places. There's a lot of dirty white places in the United States.
Let me
where
hold
dudes
you
are
down.
messed up, robbing
Where
their friends for meth.
14-year-old girls are carjacking people? I don't think so, brother.
Well, I don't really know about this story, to be clear. You know that, right? I didn't even watch this one.
Bro, where do you
particular.
live? Where do you live, man?
You'd have to knowledge me on this particular
do you
thing.
live, man?
I grew up in New York.
New York
So
City.
you keep talking about how both sides are doing this, like all of this stuff or whatever. So
100%.
do you
No-
call
no- no
shows
debate.
where it's a bunch of leftists and
Hell
call them
fucking
retards
yeah.
and shit too?
Hell
And you call
yeah.
them retards?
Hell yeah, bro. Bro, one thing, if you fuck with me, whether we talk here or talk there, or you see me on my side, you'll see that I'm consistent in that. I don't like speech that has no wiggle, and I don't like people saying things matter of factly if there's wiggle. I think that's dangerous.
I think you was incorrect when you were saying people were speaking that on things being matter of fact. People were speaking on events that have happened that look similar to this one and the trends.
Yeah,
right?
but here's the thing,
So
though.
here's the difference
Okay, my
between
bad.
you said that the COVID people weaponized it like other people are weaponizing the vaccine, right? But
People
the difference
weaponize
was
anything that's convenient.
right,
That's my
right,
point. They weaponize
right,
what's convenient to their way
right.
of thinking.
But the
And
difference is the people who weaponized COVID were the people who actually had the power to
of
take their
course,
damn job
top of
away,
the food chain. I'm not vaccinated, brother.
right?
Don't
So
get it twisted. I'm
the
not
people who
vaccinated.
you right, but the people that you were saying that were being zealots about the vaccine earlier, they didn't have power to do shit to you or anybody else. So
But
that's the
yeah,
difference between the two
yeah.
groups of people.
But don't
One
forget
of
who
those
the
groups had
original
the power,
anti-vaxxers were either.
and
Don't forget
one of
who the
those groups
original
had the
anti-vaxxers were.
one of
You
those
know?
groups had the power, and they wielded it on everybody else.
Of course. Of
That's the
course.
difference. So don't equate both of those groups.
No, I'm going to equate them because it's the same poison that let that side get out of control. And the poison is polarization. And polarization should be called out from either side,
Okay,
regardless
so
of the impact of it. You know what I mean? And you got to acknowledge the impact, of course. There's a big difference between those two, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist in both.
So
There's changes in both.
questioning the jab at all to you is dangerous and reckless.
No, that would be impossible to say because I myself question the fucking jab. I myself am not vaccinated.
So
Saying
the
that claim
event
that
that
this
you're
guy it fell from
exactly.
the jab. He's not wrong in that. Stunner.
But what I'm saying is
Saying
we
that
will
this guy
never
went down from
know.
the jab, that's
But
irresponsible.
we will never know, like he just admitted, we will never know either way. So screaming that somebody had a different opinion about it, that they were being reckless and dangerous and blah blah blah.
Because they were, because this kid might die. This kid might die. It just happened tonight.
Bro,
I think
that's the foulness.
you're coming
This
at
kid
it a
might
little
die.
hard, but it's the fact that
why how did something somebody said tonight, how's that going to affect him dying or not?
Right.
Because,
Are they going to kill him?
because I have a problem with the moral compass of America currently. And I think
Skip
everybody's,
Bayless.
you know what I mean? I think everybody's being fucking, you know, being hypocrites and circle jerking. And there's not enough, you know, actual discussion or conversation and nuance being inserted into things nowadays.
Well, I'll
That's
agree
all.
that people do see there's certain, like, you know, the anti-vax people are like, look, see, I told you, I told you. I mean, they're kind of like, you know, some people are taking victory laps over it, and that's not very, it's pretty distasteful.
Who's doing that? I've not seen that
Well,
anywhere.
The internet,
on
the
Twitter,
entire
there's plenty of
internet.
that.
Go on the internet.
Who the
Go on
fuck is
Twitter.
on Twitter? Twitter's like
So
It's
we were
not
just
like
looking at
anybody's
it earlier. I was
celebrating
saying
this
Twitter's
guy
a very
going down on the field.
I'm everywhere. I'm
no,
on
they're not
all
celebrating him
platforms.
going down. They're just saying, like, look, he died because of the vaccine. See, we told you. I mean,
Right.
it's just they hop on it immediately, and you know,
Right.
it's basically speculation on their
you
part
don't
too,
even know
if
if
they
the
do have
people
certain
you don't
other
even
evidence.
know if the people saying that quote unquote are actually real people.
No,
You don't
some
know
of them are real.
if they're
Some of them are
putting
bots.
that
Some
out
of them
there
are
so
real.
people can say, see, look how they're acting. You don't
Some
know if
of them
any
are
of that
bots.
shit is real,
Some
man.
of them are real. Some of them are bots. Some of them are real. Both things. And that's and that's to my point. And that's to my point. My point is people get on the internet, they say things matter of factly, and people with lower IQ, and as the IQ gets lower, they just believe it. They don't research it, they don't hear it, and then go say, oh, let me look up a few articles from multiple places and see if it's true. They just go and say it to someone else.
But I have the same problem with what you're saying to the fact of the juvies who are shooting everybody. That's the same problem that you're not willing to say what it is.
I said what it is. There's certain crimes, whether it was some are white collar, some are this, some are street, some are fucking assault, some are.
You see how he goes from being straightforward to doing all that dancing when you get back to it?
That's what I'm talking about.
There's no dancing.
Yeah, but white collar crime. What are you talking about?
Y'all do know I'm white too, right?
Of course we know you white.
Okay,
dude.
good. All right, good. So let's make that clear. And
Jews are not committing white collar crime. Why even reference?
no, because different crimes have higher propensities to different communities, and unfortunately,
nearly
the black
to the point of
community.
exclusivity.
Exactly. For the most part,
I just don't understand how you can plainly speak the truth to everything else, and everybody else are retards and shit.
I'm not speaking the truth.
When it comes to this question, you dancing
I'm not
around
addicted to this.
like Michael
I'm not
Jackson out this
addicted to
motherfucker.
this. You think I'm addicted to saying what I'm saying? I'm just saying that, yeah, I acknowledge what you're saying. Of course, violent crimes, we know who does most of them and where the majority.
Who?
What do you mean? Black and Latino areas are where it's popping. We don't know this. I'm
black
not a
and brown
white
Coalition
boy.
controlled
I'm a
areas.
white
black
New
and brown
Yorker.
coalition.
I'm not a white boy. I'm a white New Yorker. I lived in the Bronx. I lived in Staten Island
So,
a
We can
good
tell
chunk
you're
of my
from
life.
New
so where
York.
most of
He's
those,
so
so where most of
emotional.
those
Get the fuck out of
Latinos
here.
and black people are congregated, where you say it's going down and it's popping, who governs them primarily?
Oh, what are you trying to get to the fact that democratic states are being idiotic and retarded?
Cities.
I'm talking
Yeah,
cities, not states.
yeah,
We talking cities and counties. Who
yeah. No
usually
shit.
governs those?
Don't we all know this answer? Do you think I'm a Democrat or something?
Are you Italian?
Hell no,
No,
he's not Italian.
but because I'm from New York, I got that in me. That sound a little bit, unfortunately. Staten Island will do that to you.
Oh, you. What are you? What are you? Oh,
I'm like a white mutt, bro. I'm like
okay.
Irish, German.
You just
He's
a
an Irish sun
greaseball,
man.
man, from New York,
Yeah.
man. Let's
He's
sit back and
diverse.
enjoy the show. Let's
Well,
see
this morning, 3 NYPD officers are recovering after being attacked by a man with a machete on New Year's Eve. The attacker was also injured, being shot in the shoulder by police.
Yeah, and that suspect identified as 19-year-old Trevor Bickford. He's from Maine, and he was on the FBI's watch list after his own family told authorities about his extremist views. Fox 5's Robert Moses live at Bellevue Hospital with the very latest. Good morning, Robert.
Dan and Tashani, good morning to you. Police tell me that Trevor Bickford remains here at Bellevue Hospital this morning, recovering from a gunshot wound. Pending this investigation, Bickford may turn out to be the first person to have carried out a terrorist attack at New York's New Year's Eve celebration.
So the white boy is getting charged with a terrorist attack.
The suspect in Saturday night's attack is identified.
So you notice that? Do you notice that? Like, if this was a black kid, had just went around and hit a bunch of cops with a machete.
Yeah, he'd be a suspected teen who machetes.
Yeah. Yeah, it would never be. You don't see the difference, like the tone. Like, this kid is literally. This is a terrorist attack. This is the first terrorist attack in the history of
In
New
the
York.
history ever.
New Year's Eve, a New Year's Eve celebration in New York. Like, they're going to be referencing this the next time. The next time there's like, say some guy blows up a fucking van at a fucking New Year's Eve event in a couple of years. They're going to be like, this is the first one since Trevor Bickford committed his terrorist. And this kid literally did what fucking Sun people do all the time. He attacked a bunch of people with a knife.
And this will be the story about crime in the new year, and not the nearly 10 mass shootings that some people did on the first.
Yeah, New York is on fire right now, bro.
Yeah, but this white kid is from Maine. He came from Maine to do this shit. He's not from New York.
At New York's New Year's Eve celebration. The suspect in Saturday night's attack is identified as 19-year-old Trevor Bickford of Wells, Maine. Investigators think he arrived in New York earlier in the week and want to know if he purposely came to attack cops at the most famous New Year's Eve celebration in the world. Charges against Bickford are pending. Authorities are looking into whether radical Islamic extremism inspired him to attack 3 officers who were assigned to the New Year's Eve detail and stationed near 52nd and 8th. Police say Bickford struck 2 of them with this machete. Bickford's online postings include references to Islamic extremist views. A police source tells Fox News Digital that the FBI's counterterrorism task force was watching him in the weeks leading up to the attack. The source also said Bickford...
You notice every time a white boy does something, he was on their radar?
Seems like
Every time.
They always knew about him. Sun Man, I never hear that with a Sun Man that we had been watching. And the Sun Man is on social media.
Yeah, he's got the gun all over Instagram and shit.
He's got all the pictures of guns. He's doing all this shit on Instagram and on fucking Twitter and Facebook. And it's I can't remember a white kid where it wasn't like, yeah, we had him on our radar, but we couldn't arrest him because he hadn't done anything yet or some shit like that.
He was on the radar. He was on the radar because his family reported him.
Oh.
To the FBI.
Even the Sun Sandmen that they say they have on the radar. You know what I mean? When they pull some shit out, they're like, we knew they was into some shit, but when it's a Sun Man, it came straight from out the motherfucking blue.
Yeah, it's racist to
recently converted
have
to
gunmen on
Islam,
your radar.
Yeah.
and a tipster claimed he was interested in traveling to Afghanistan.
One officer, an 8-year veteran, suffered a laceration to the head. The second officer, who graduated the police academy on Friday, was also struck in the head, resulting in a skull fracture and large laceration.
Police Commissioner Keyshawn Sewell says one of the 3 officers fired at Bickford and hit him in the shoulder. Bickford was taken to Bellevue Hospital, where he remains this morning. Police say the injured cops have been released from Bellevue. Mayor Eric Adams spoke to one of them as he was getting stitched.
And he was in good spirits. He understood that his role saved lives of New Yorkers today.
The attack occurred just outside the secure zone, where officers screen revelers for weapons before they are allowed to see the ball drop. It happened just after 10 p.m., less than 2 hours before the new year.
Hey, he was planning something way bigger, trying to get that knife in there.
Happy New Year's. We have 3 officers who are going home.
Authorities say there is no ongoing threat to the city. They say that Bickford carried out this attack by himself.
Wow.
A
Damn
lone wolf.
Yeah, man.
Still don't understand how it could be classified as a terrorist attack.
Did he catch any bodies or no?
Nah, nobody.
He didn't even kill nobody either.
Mm-mm.
Is he full white? It looked like he was mixed with something.
Yeah, it does. He does look mixed.
Yeah, a little Alibaba in him.
They were watching him, and then he posted on Facebook, "Alhamdulillah, I'm headed to Times Square," and they're like, maybe he'll do something.
Let's see.
Trying to see what he looks like. I didn't see
What
what he
about
looks like. I
Dak?
wasn't looking at the screen. Oh, he definitely don't look full white.
There may be some Tiger in there.
That's true though. Yeah, Italians could look. Yeah.
Let's see.
More ambiguous.
We go with Oxford.
He doesn't look
he
like
was on meth.
He doesn't look anything like his father. His father supposedly OD'd in 2018, but I don't think it was his birth father.
That's the Syrian mailman's kid. Motherfucker was creeping on a carpet. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, man. I mean, I just give him glider, man. I'm not trying to like. He looks like a fucking glider, man.
Oh, he's a freaking Muslim terrorist, no matter what color he is.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, right?
So this kid.
His plan was sneaking that by the cops. I think he only attacked them because he got caught with it.
Yeah, to attack other people.
Yeah,
We
I think he
covered
was going to go nuts in the crowd.
So, Ak, we covered the blizzard there. Did you see that story about the glider that broke into the school and
Yeah, I
got
saw
stranded
that.
motorists in there?
I saw that. Yeah, that was.
It's like the opposite of a looter.
Yeah, he was a hero, man.
Some man
This
ain't breaking
motherfucker.
into shit to save you.
This motherfucker was just clanking people with an unsharpened machete.
Students in Patterson, New Jersey will go back to school
Fuck
tomorrow,
outta here.
and when they do, they'll once again be wearing masks. CBS 2's Nick Calloway spoke with parents and
Jesus.
students about the new mandate.
For many Patterson students, the fashion of face coverings is so 3 years ago.
No, I don't like wearing masks. I don't want to wear them.
But district officials cited a rising number of COVID, flu, and RSV cases
Those
for the
kids
new
know they
mask
don't work.
mandate. Health experts say another surge is likely. Superintendent
This is
Eileen
ridiculous.
Schaefer.
We had looked
Look
at
at
the
her.
data, and we
This
saw
is
that
the
19.
superintendent.
Look at this. This bitch got on the glasses from fucking Party City.
Yeah, she just came from her white privilege dinner.
Right.
She's been announcing her white privilege.
Yeah,
The black girl.
fresh from her struggle session.
This is the long lost golden girl. Fuck out of here. This bitch.
Great value golden girl.
Right. It's bitch look like she an old
Counties
woman
in the state of New
disguised.
Jersey, we're at a high spread, and we know that after holidays and gatherings, there's a possibility of the spread going up.
Not
And you
all
know
students
dang well
are
masks
opposed
don't
to the
work.
mandate.
COVID's coming back, and there's a lot of cases. I don't know. It's like a love and a hate relationship.
Some told us it's a smart idea to cover up while acknowledging they don't really want to.
I really don't know how to explain like how like wearing a mask affect me. You know, in my school it's like a lot of stairs, so I can say like it's a yes and a no. Like going up the stairs with a mask on, you gotta like take it down and take a breather. Like the teacher's like, put it on, put it on.
But Elisha Clark's mom said she supports masking up if it means keeping her family safe.
I just told
What
her
is-
wear her mask, hand sanitizer constantly.
What does her dad
Fuck.
think? Oh yeah,
Stupid as
isn't
rock.
one.
Stupid
this
as rock.
This feels like it was made in 2020. This
Right,
story,
that's
like,
what they want. That's what they want to return us to that mindset, man. But let me
Right.
stop before I get retarded.
I mean, she's
No,
getting
no,
clowned on by the
you're
other kids
right.
for wearing it.
No, but this you're right about, right? Because it's not someone who just fell on a football field a fucking hour ago. That I'm a Buffalo Bills fan too. All right, I'm gonna be honest. There's a little emotion here. All right, motherfucker. I'll be honest with you. You know, I'm gonna keep it real.
Okay, now we get the truth.
I'm gonna keep it real, but it's all sides of it. You know what I mean? And I didn't mean coming firing hot. I call everyone retard. I call my friends retard. I call my kids retard sometimes. You know what I mean? No man, I don't got respect for you. It's my bad if it came out that way.
okay, man.
Respect.
We're a tough bunch on this
man.
panel.
A lot of these guys are retards, man. Don't feel free to call them retards. Feel free to call them retards anytime you want, man.
Yo, Wick could be saying some retarded shit sometimes. I'm not gonna lie.
Right, you can call me a retard too. I ain't gonna get mad. I'll be like, I'll eat it.
Don't be around them.
Patterson joins the nearby city of Passaic in requiring face coverings in schools. Neither district gave an end date. Officials in both Patterson and Passaic say they hope to make masks optional again as soon as possible. In Patterson, Nick Calloway, CBS 2 News.
Half the people they showed were either wearing it all the way down or just over their mouth.
Over their mouth, right? They're not even wearing it properly, and even when you wear it properly, the efficacy is still low.
Yeah, this
It's outrageous. It's outrageous at this point, man.
Yeah, this is definitely outrageous because it's like, wait a second, man. We're still doing the mask thing. Like, it's like, come on, man. Like, what? It's like on Groundhog's Day, man. Shout out to Bill Murray, man. Check
Right.
out this though. Check out this. Y'all talking about white privilege.
Does not mean that your life is not hard. Nobody is saying that your life is not hard. White privilege. White privilege does not mean that your life is not hard. Nobody is saying that your life is not hard.
Saying white privilege because I'm not the one who called the police.
I'm
I'm
not
not.
finish. Sure. It means that your life is not hard because of your skin color. So, black and like if
Yo, bro, you getting off to a rough start, man. Make a lot of noise, man. You got to mute
Oh,
yourself.
pardon me.
Yeah,
I thought
man.
I had my mic muted. My bad, brother. I usually mute my mic in between. Pardon.
Yeah.
See, call me a retard. Do it now.
Go ahead, just mute yourself, Paulie. Thank you, man. This is so. This is the chick who's running around, fucking calling all these white women. I tell them they have white
Fish mouth.
It's goddamn fucking Patel. Is she like? I mean, like, come on, man. You
The
fucking
Patels are
country-
taking the charge on this. If you notice,
We're people of color too.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're really leaning in hard on the victimhood of it, and
Yeah.
constantly talking about what some black people need.
Yeah, some people go to India, see how you get treated over there.
Oh Lord, the caste
Yeah,
system.
There's
This
a lot
one
of
comes
money
from-
in bashing gliders.
Yeah, she comes from a country where the black people literally you can't touch them.
Yeah, the only job they could get is like cleaning sewers and
Yeah,
comes from.
that's your ceiling, cleaning sewers as a dark skinned person in her country, and it's just so sad that black people don't do any research.
I'm not the one who called the police.
I'm
I'm not.
finish.
Sure.
It means that your life is not hard because of your skin color. So, black and like if Regina and I acted the way you did, we would have been arrested or worse. When black-
Are you freaking shitting
Right,
me?
right. They just out here killing Indian bitches now. Now the cops are slamming Indian bitches everywhere.
Me and this Sun woman, if we had done that, we'd be arrested. This Sun woman,
you
like
see
her
how they
jaw
always-
dropped. You saw that?
They always reach out and try to just cloak themselves with the nearest Sun person.
It's like
Do you see this?
Kamala
Do you see this
Harris.
dot on my head? This dot is a target. This dot is a target.
This
is outrageous.
This is crazy, man. This woman is bad shit. She's not. I wouldn't even call her bad shit. She's evil. This is evil to do this.
Seems
man.
like a conscious choice.
Yeah.
You know what she's
we
doing.
would have been arrested or worse. When black and brown people act in those ways, it's arrested or worse.
But the definition up there said a Karen uses calls the police to police people's behavior, and when actually it was a black woman who was calling the police on a white woman policing my behavior.
Well, because they asked you to leave the store and you didn't leave.
But we
Oh,
got
sis,
So there's
sorry.
so there's justification to do it to her. You see.
Yeah, you
Wow.
you disobeyed a request from the store owner, miss, and we would never dream of doing that.
Yeah, black
Hilarious.
people don't do that.
As
in
her
McDonald's.
earrings flap in the wind.
You didn't leave.
But we got distracted because I was being berated by these two individuals.
Can I ask you something?
Yes, ma'am.
Because you flinched when I said white privilege. Do you not understand what white privilege is?
No, I don't. Because I could tell you my situation right now. My husband left me penniless, raising 3 children. I don't have it good at all. I make self-sacrifices, don't get my hair done, don't get my nails done. Thank you, Dr. Phil Show. There's all kinds of sacrifices that I make, and I don't use white privilege. What I try to use is communication to communicate with somebody. And if you have a subordinate who cannot answer a question, then I'm going to ask for a manager who can answer it. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Here's what I would like to say to you. You know, if you're born and raised in America, okay, I am a 72-year-old black woman, and I am.
Is that the
moderately
same lady
biased
from that
according-
dinner?
Yeah, this is race to dinner. Race to dinner.
Wow.
This is the race to dinner chick.
Yeah, this is them. This woman, I want to hear what
Dr.
her-
Phil is wrong for putting this woman up against these 2 racial warriors right
He
here.
does this all the time these days now. He
That's
puts
sick.
one conservative positioned person
Who
against
clearly
a
doesn't
panel
have a
of
command
leftists.
of the material up against these 2 ninja racial warriors who are
She's
have
holding her own, though.
shurikens to
She's
throw out
holding
at
her
any
own.
opportunity.
But these women are morons, though, so I think she got a chance. These two race to dinner women are fucking
But they have a whole bag full of junk science, though.
Yeah, they have an answer to everything she's going to
Here's what
say.
I would like to say to you. You know, if you're born and raised in America, okay, I am a 72-year-old black woman, and I am moderately biased, according to the Harvard bias thing online, towards white children. And the reason is, I grew up in America. There's no way that I can be biased towards white children and not have come out of that sausage factory that we all come out of, called public education. This is America. This is who we are.
Yeah, and I
What? That made no sense.
Your argument is one thing, but I'm a 72-year-old black woman, and what do you think about that?
Yeah, and bias is inherent.
White children.
But bias, unfortunately, is inherent. You
70-year-old
can test
Yeah.
someone from anywhere.
Bias
and
is
there'll
a
be
human
biases that
condition.
show up. Right. It's a human. It's natural, unfortunately. Yeah, 100%.
Maybe she's biased towards glider children because they're not the ones carjacking her grandchildren and that kind of thing, and having
because they got good.
because she
head.
probably knows a couple of kids have been murdered.
I'm not throwing stones at all. I have non-black privilege. Okay, I don't have white skin and I don't have black skin. I have brown skin. So I have privilege because I'm not black.
She has
Okay,
Patel
in
privilege.
the hierarchy of
Did you
America.
hear what she said? This is disgusting. I have
Patel
privilege 'cause I'm
privilege,
not
yeah.
black. Why is she talking about black people like that? Like we just like. And listen, I
The
know black
Fabergé
people,
eggs of society.
but she's talking
Non-black
about us like we're
privilege.
like trash. Like I got it fucking very good in this. Listen, man, I can say anything, anywhere, without any backlash.
Miss Patel knows that, though.
Only place I get in trouble is YouTube.
This is a form of submission to her partner, though, here, because she's got to make sure that, because she doesn't want her to get too uppity and be like, well, you ain't black, so you don't really know how it is.
Exactly.
That's true.
Yeah. 100%.
Stones at all. I have non-black privilege. Okay, I don't have white skin and I don't have black skin. I have brown skin. So I have privilege because I'm not black. Okay, in the hierarchy of America, you've got white at the top, you got black at the bottom, and you got everyone in between.
Wow, where
really
else is
Who
that
the
the
fuck
case?
is this person? Where did she come up with this shit?
Why is this unchecked? Why is this going unchecked?
Black at
One of
the
the
bottom.
most populous
That's
countries
just
on the earth
terrible.
also does that.
Jesus.
She
Yo,
sounds
I-
like
All of a sudden, women in the crowd shaking their hair. Yep.
But this is what they do with the Transformers too. They'll have somebody come on and they'll have a Transformer activist giving a speech like this lady's giving.
Oh, the T Dogs? You talking about the T Dogs? Okay, I call them the T Dogs. Yeah.
Yo, I'm not. Listen, I'm not. I don't see that at all. I see some people going around like firing guns in public, cussing out police. So some people are literally the most ostentatious, brash, bold, brazen people when you're in a public space. When you're in a public space, the most comfortable person you in this space is usually a black person. The person that has the most latitude behaviorally. You know what I'm saying? They could do like the largest spectrum of things on the behavioral spectrum that they can do. Like if you're in a Walmart, some person could steal something, they could fight a cashier, they could fucking shoot somebody, they could cuss out somebody, they could resist arrest, they could just start screaming, they could attack a woman in aisle fucking 17, they could do like nobody else really does those things in public.
And they can do it with no or very little accountability.
Yeah,
but that's only true as of recently, though. You know what I mean? Past like what 5 years, you'd say probably it's getting crazy in that direction.
Nah, it's been like that all my life, man.
Yeah. Nah, that's not true because that's not true. I mean,
you gotta watch the channel more, bro.
I'm a son man, man. I'm a son man.
How you gonna deny that man's life experience?
Yeah, I'm a son.
Oh no, yeah, well, but because I've also lived among everybody and like watched shit happen too. You know what I mean?
Are you saying son men in New York City, where you're from, were like meek and humble in the 80s? And you know,
no, I'm not saying they weren't wild with it. I'm just saying that.
Then? So what are you saying? You saying they didn't have camera phones? Is that what all you're saying? Is that they didn't have camera phones and there was no internet? That's all you're saying. If the same shit been going on for decades. Listen, man.
Yeah, but when it comes to like getting away with it, that's more of a recent phenomenon with the social justice movement. You know what I mean? That's where, yeah, like getting away with crimes more. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like how like you're saying like there's no repercussions. That's a recent thing. That's a social justice movement past like 5, 6 years, 7 years.
I mean,
started maybe 10 years ago. You know, getting in motion.
Hey, Ak, you want to take them back to 1970 again?
Or 1900?
Bottom, you got everyone in between. And the quicker we can acknowledge these things, Dr. Phil, you say this, you cannot change what you don't acknowledge. So why can't we just acknowledge it and take the feelings out of it so we can actually stop having police brutality and the beating and killing of Black and brown people for no reason? You want the Karen, the trend of Karen to be over? You're sick of that. You know what we're sick of? Racism. We're sick of racism.
Well, let me tell you.
Dr. Phil, I don't know when they cut his balls off.
I did a show on white
but
privilege,
Jesus,
and
he's unselfish.
When he was on Rogan, he seemed like such a sensible guy.
Message boards down.
You know what I'm sick of? I'm sick of seeing kids fight back against the police, forcing them to be brutal against them and causing that problem.
Yeah, we're sick of seeing your children marking everyone.
Do you not? You don't get that though, because you're shaking your head.
I don't really understand why we keep talking about racism in the first place. I know it exists. Okay, I know, but
well, that's what the show's about.
Well, no, I thought it was about Karen.
What you don't talk about. Can you imagine?
Hey, hold on. Pause that, Ak.
With anybody and never talking about the.
Dr. Phil just let the cat out the bag. Because this show is supposed to be about Karens, right? Now, when she said, "Why do we keep even talking about racism?" and Dr. Phil under his breath says, "Well, that's what the show's about." Yeah. Now you see, he just let it out that we tricked you, bitch. We tricked you. We wanted your white country ass to come on here and think you were defending whether or not you were behaving like a Karen, when you're now sitting here the actual figurement of a straw man argument, and we finna just give a lecture and use you.
Yeah. Dr. Phil looks like he's uncomfortable here.
Yeah, they would never have me on that show because I would be bring up every time a Black girl gets out there and goes wild and destroys things in public and be like, that, they wouldn't ever have me on there. They'd edit me out.
You'd be like, here's a 100-minute video of black women destroying shit over the last 5 years, and then they kick you off the show.
And twerking while they do it.
Just last year.
I still can't
Twerking
believe
terrors.
that Potato Patel said, "I'm tired of cops killing black people for no reason at all."
No reason.
Can you even imagine what that would be?
My Lord.
Because you can afford to be indifferent because you are a white woman.
Because I'm white?
Yep.
Woman,
Yep.
she doesn't understand because it
You
doesn't
can
happen
be
to her.
indifferent.
If this
Because
if
she's
this
not black.
woman,
To me, click the link in the.
I have no doubt that if this particular glider queen ran into the Sun Sister and the Sun Patel, she would probably beat the shit out of them.
Yeah,
Literally.
I think so.
Because she had that energy.
What is like the
that if I caught y'all
tangible
outside of
work
this-
that
Yeah.
Damn, sister with the tongue over there. What the hell?
Look at this shit. Let's just look at.
what is like the tangible work that these women do? They're there, they open up to whatever extent they're, allowing themselves to and receiving whatever you all are telling them. What is the desired outcome? They go back into their communities and their social circles and do what?
Stop the nonsense. I want to add, because I think we missed Indigenous and Black people are on the bottom. Okay. Talk.
Jesus Christ. He just loves being on the bus.
And your husband. These men that are creating violence out there, these are their husbands, their sons, their brothers, their grandfathers, their uncles. So talk to those people. Talk to other white women. Open up your mouth, call a thing, and quit pretending like you don't see
What
the
about black on
violence.
black violence?
Stop
The
pretending.
violence. What she said? White women need to go home from these dinners and talk to their husbands about all the violence they're doing to black people.
Black women need to go home and talk to their sons about all the black on black violence.
Yeah, and look,
to stay the
white
hell
men
away from them.
food chain, right? They're on the throne. Who's holding up the throne? White women, right? White women are holding up the throne. Look at the numbers. 53% of white women voted for Donald Trump the first time. After Donald Trump proved himself to be a whole fascist, 56% voted for him. More, right? So our pedagogy is white women, stop caping for whiteness. Stop propping up whiteness. Join gender, intersectional solidarity, and we can overthrow all of it. But it starts with you. You have to deconstruct this within yourself. So yes, come to a dinner and then start having these conversations. We very purposefully do this at dinner tables to sort of turn the old adage on its head of no politics at the dinner table. What does no politics at the dinner table means? Don't talk about oppression at the dinner table. And people have to eat multiple meals a day. So if you're not talking,
These people are goddamn insane.
If you're
That
not
is not
using
what it
every
means at all.
meal
That's
as an
bananas right there.
Nah, they're not insane, bro. They know exactly what they're doing, and they're furthering trying to turn glider women against the glider men.
Oh yeah, they're definitely focusing this shit
What the
toward
fuck is
glider
glider?
women. They
Can I know
need
what
all
glider
of
is,
them.
please?
It's
Y'all got this
a white
language.
person.
So
White
so
people.
sun people is black people and glider is white people. Is that the lingo?
You
Is that what
got
y'all
it.
doing?
Yeah, snow gliders.
All right.
And tigers and patels, and we got the whole Aklingo
Well,
here, man.
Patel's
You
I
gotta-
get. You know what I mean? Because I had doctors named Patel. You know what I mean? That one I knew. You know what I mean?
Prairie patels, that's a good one.
Word.
And again, they just stated a fact that you will never hear on any other news channel on any other circumstance. The fact that Trump gained in white women vote from 16 to 20. Like they don't give any facts about the election other than this he lost, right? He lost. Shut up. He lost, right? But they don't tell you more white women, more black males. They don't tell you more Hispanics. Like they hide all of that shit, but these people know those facts and they are working tirelessly day and night to indoctrinate the white women and their daughters.
And the youth.
about
And the
oppression
youth is who
during
showed
times you're
up.
eating, you're not
That's
talking
who
about
showed up
oppression.
for the election. The
So
young
if
the
you
young
can
people.
decolonize your dining room, the next time you have people over for dinner, the next time you're having dinner with your family, you can talk about it because you've already done it before. And it's not so scary. No one, as Regina always says, nobody died. Nobody died.
Why, and you touched upon it a little bit, but why specifically do this over dinner? There's so many different venues and avenues you could do this. Why dinner?
White women are socialized to be nice. And part of that niceness
Can't say that
means
about sisters,
you
for
don't
sure.
come to a beautifully prepared dinner table and then leave because something upsets you. So we know they'll stay. So that's why we use the dinner.
That's one. And then the other is to actually inspire them to stop this nonsense about not talking about politics at the dinner table. So if you can actually take this to your friends, your book club, instead of having a book club, you can actually have friends over to talk about.
It's so charming how like well versed they are at emotionally manipulating white people.
Yeah,
It's
they're
almost like
open.
they've
They're
really
open
studied
about
them, and
They're super evil, man.
Yeah, turn your book club into a struggle session.
Yeah, nobody
Yeah,
died.
turn your
Nobody
dinner
died.
table into a freaking uncomfortable situation.
Nobody died except when you go home, the your uncle's daughter who was just trying to go to her college, or trying to go home from her college bar, who got fucking smoked by some people. Nobody died though.
Yeah,
And they said glider women are trained, or I forget the word she used, to be nice, as if that
conditioned, I think.
Yeah, conditioned, as if that's a bad thing.
Yeah, it's almost as if glider women are going to like do anything they can do to avoid like calling you a sun word in public.
Yeah,
right?
but it takes credit. It takes credit away from them too, though, because the reason they won't leave has nothing to do with that shit. It has to do with the fact that they're open to the conversation. So you're discrediting them. That's why they're there, because they're open to the conversation. That's why they're staying.
Yeah, they're fucking hard on these white women.
Done dinners with us that they are in fact doing that, and they've continued the work. I'll give you one anecdote. We had a dinner in Chicago a couple years ago, and a white woman there was talking about how it was mostly nurses and mental health professionals, and she was giving an example, and she said, I was recently at my holiday party, and it was the ecosystem: white male doctors, the head of the practice, 9 white women nurses below him, and he was talking about goals for the following year were to hire less foreign doctors. And she paused and she said, the only doctors we hired this year were African and Asian doctors. And he wasn't trying to keep the Norwegian doctors out, the French doctors out. And so I said, what did you do? And she said, nothing. I did nothing. What did the other
Maybe it has something to
women
do with
Nothing.
language
So
barriers.
if you got one Nazi at the table and 10 people sitting with the Nazi silently, you got 11 Nazis at the table, right? So she said, when she said it out loud at this dinner, she said, remember, she goes, I feel like the weight of the world has been lifted off my shoulders. I feel like I got it out, and nobody died. And then I caught up with her to interview her for this book over a year later. And I said, what has changed? And she said, you know what? This was now smack in the middle of, it was post George Floyd getting murdered, when white people discovered systemic racism in the summer of 2020. So it's like the fall of 2020, 8 months into COVID or something like that, right? And she said, I was overhearing doctors talk about what is all this medical racism they're talking about, like as if it doesn't exist. And she went in and she interrupted it in real time. And she said now she's getting doctors and nurses to start doing reading. They're reading books. And she was like, it's working. So that's the kind of power that white women
diversity
have.
and equity
Massive
club.
amount, way more power than the two of us combined. One white woman has way more power than the two of us combined.
In other words, she was sucking up to you.
Those doctors are being threatened with their jobs if they don't participate in this bullshit through the human resources. So it's not that it's working. It's by force.
And that's the problem. And that's the problem. And that's the problem. There's nothing wrong with, things happening naturally, or if they should, and they end up leaning different directions or being more quote unquote diverse over time if it's done properly. But it's the forced diversity that is the issue currently. You know what I mean? Within the, Hollywood industry, the medical industry, and wherever else. That's the fucking issue,
This shit is, these women, I'm just shocked by how stupid this Indian woman is.
And
Like,
the
she's
Indian
literally an
woman,
idiot.
the Indian woman also gave it up when she kind of just randomly brought up Trump out of nowhere. I believe that she has Trump derangement syndrome so bad that she probably spends every waking hour doing this shit because she believes this is the key to taking that demographic away in the next election.
Follow her on Twitter.
It is.
Exactly it. You would think Trump was still the sitting president off her Twitter.
Blinded. She's blinded by leftist ideology. You can be left and not be blinded. You can be
and
right
her
and not be
financial
blinded.
backers are demanding that she constantly keeps that in the ether.
For sure. It's what's paying right now, right? Conservative ideology is
doing
what
this work. I imagine nothing shocks you at this point. But I mean, any one instance you can recall that you were taken aback by something you heard.
We
that
did
was
a
unexpected?
dinner with a group of young women. You know, they're probably your age or maybe a little bit older. And many of them had adopted Black children. Okay. We had one young woman who talked about how her parents often made comments about her Black son. Things like, oh, can you do something with this hair? Or, you know, and she never said anything. And she said she didn't say anything because they loved him. Okay. So Syra pops up and talks about, so you're saying that if one of them were sexually abusing him, it would be okay because they love him? And see,
what the motherfucker is this bitch talking about?
Now, did this bitch even ask to see his hair? She don't know
Right.
what that shit
So
look
she,
like.
she appeared.
Might
have needed a haircut.
Listen, can we deny, regardless, right, that Black hair is harder to brush and shit like that? They were just like, what do we do? These are some white ass people, never seen a black head of hair in their life. They're like, what the fuck? Help me? You know what I mean?
I live in a community where there's a lot of glider families who've adopted son kids, and their heads look crazy.
Yeah.
And you're right. You know what I'm saying? You're right, New York dude. They don't know what to do. They don't
The
know
hair
what to
is
do with
different.
the hair.
It's different type of hair. If you go to a barber that's only worked on Black people or a barber that's only worked on white people, they're gonna not know what to do as good, and they're professionals. You know what I mean? At first, you know what I mean? It's the way it is.
Right. They don't give shape ups, no lineups, nothing.
Right. Unless they said some crazy shit. Now, if the parents said some crazy shit, whatever. But racism still exists.
Right.
And
The only example she gave was they said, "Can you do something with his hair?"
Yeah, they equated them hating her hair texture to them sexually assaulting her. But let's just ignore the fact that the most critical people, without fail, of some people's hair are some women.
Exactly.
Without a doubt.
They replaced the hair, right?
Nobody hates some people's hair more than some women.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet this woman had no money before
and
this.
say,
yeah, she's the
well, that doesn't matter. And it's the same. You are allowing your child to be abused. It doesn't have to be sexual, but it's emotional. It's racial. To be abused in his own home, you have to stop it. So that to me was pretty horrific.
I was pretty shocked once when a white lady tried to grab me by the collar because I said, white Western yoga is typically cultural appropriation. And she thought it would be a good idea to grab
you sitting here in fucking, not in the fucking.
She's not wearing a sarong or any of that shit.
It's fucking you just being able to speak.
Yeah, she's not being sold for a cow.
Yeah, the fucking cameraman's probably.
She's had a hamburger.
So you can speak in front of a man without being beaten, like it's cultural appropriation.
Yeah,
wearing those pants is white Western culture.
Yeah,
right. I don't believe in cultural appropriation. I think it's a load of shit, especially in America where we're literally the melting pot of all melting pots.
Oh, that's just some shit that gliders came up with to make themselves feel better, bro. That's in them racist textbooks. You can't believe that.
Right.
Yeah, that shit's weird.
And let's face it, they made everything better when they mixed it in the cultures.
What's that?
Yeah.
Do you like real true Mexican food, or do you like Tex-Mex? Be honest.
I like both. I'd probably say I prefer Tex-Mex. I've
been to an authentic Mexican restaurant, and I was shocked. I was like, "Oh, okay, I didn't know that."
Yeah,
I'd never had Mexican food before.
Yeah, a lot of organ meat.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I grew up in New York. There's a lot of authentic Mexican out there. It depends, you know.
It's not what you.
It
It's not.
depends.
Yeah, I prefer Chipotle Taco Bell shit.
Oh no, fuck all that.
My collar. She reached across the table to grab my collar, and the yoga instructor I was talking to got in front of her and said, "No, please don't do that. In fact, what Cyrus is saying is true." And she was like, "I don't understand, blah blah blah." And she said, "I'm a yoga instructor in Colorado, and I've repeatedly said to multiple studios, we have to hire Black, Asian, Latinx yoga instructors." And she said they patently will not do it. And I was like, "Yeah, that's what I was talking about." But she was all set to like punch me to
bet she was.
honor
Imagine
the
wanting
white
to do
yoga
that.
instructor because somehow I had
So
mortally
yoga is
wounded her
black
by saying
too?
cultural appropriation.
Yeah,
And
like
Latinx?
yeah,
It's
like
brown. It's brown. I'd say they'd probably say, right?
Oh my God, these people are.
Yeah, they're saying it's brown.
Black
Yeah,
people
yoga's
invented
brown.
everything. What you talking about, man?
People are insufferable.
It doesn't even matter. Like,
I
just
can't-
shut the fuck up. I just wish everyone would shut the fuck up. The problem is they gave everybody the internet and they gave too many voices. That's the problem.
Those are two evil heifers right there.
Yeah,
The sad thing is
Oh,
that
yeah.
their message is spreading to the young kids.
Yes,
Yeah.
everybody on here
Yeah.
that's got daughters. The shit that these people are talking is being infused directly into your
Yeah, I got
daughters
two.
and your
I got
wives.
two.
Yeah, that's the target audience. The
I
younger
remember,
females.
I remember that mulatto was talking about her dad at the funeral. I was like, Jesus.
Yikes.
You remember that?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Like that's how deep it is. It's crazy.
Yeah, that was ugly. I wanted to punch her in her face.
I remember
Yeah, she
being
is.
at a bar when Meghan Markle got married, and I was like, I don't want to watch this. And some glider overheard me, and she's like, "You should be happy." I was like, "What the?"
Fuck are you happy? Some woman who passed as a white woman all her life and now is using being black as a way to
Yeah,
like
pass
get
on
out.
blanc, the definition
Exactly.
of it.
I was like,
Yeah.
"What?"
Man, fuck the royal family too, though. For Christ's sake, I know we
Yeah,
ain't
we
defending those
fought a war
fucking
to not care about
scumbags.
kings and queens.
Most Americans don't even know what country we defeated to become free. So
Right, right. Fuck
Sadly,
those
yeah.
motherfuckers. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I mean, fuck that bitch too. She ain't shit either. But fuck them motherfuckers.
But
Yeah.
they're so brainwashed that they believe that Meghan Markle is just like a sun person, Like,
And she's being treated bad by them.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it's the
Yep.
same thing because once somebody in the family, English family, allegedly said, "What color do you think the baby's going to be?" And she took that and ran with it and made herself a big
I mean,
victim.
listen, I don't think there's any doubt that they would rather marry some milky white bitch, though. You know what I mean? I don't think
Yeah, I
there's
think
any
You don't
doubt.
know
such
that.
choice,
though.
but at the end of the
Don't
day,
you
I
want
think
your
it's no.
offspring to marry what's going to get them through the easiest life?
Yeah, but you don't know that.
Yeah,
though.
but that's not why they're doing it.
Hold on, but hold on. Meghan Markle doesn't look
black.
When a person sees
She
Meghan
looks a
Markle,
lot darker than fucking Harry's red fucking pale fucking ass.
no, but hold on. I think
she's like
hold
a
on,
double
time out.
octoroon. I mean, she's
Time out. I think
got
you're
a very
making a
small
big
percentage.
She looks like
assumption.
Latino, more like Latino skin color, I'd say. Like,
Listen. I live in a place where there's a lot of fucking that stuff mixed. Some fucking like ex-con son man with some fat like out of shape white woman and they got a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
That stuff is prevalent where I'm at, and I've never seen a hint of like white people don't like.
Oh no, there's not a lot of that. Like in America, there's not that biracial like
I've never seen
marriage
like a
shit.
hint of it. Like not a. I haven't
Yeah.
seen a hint of
But the
the.
royal family isn't the average American in an area like that. The royal family has a lineage.
Hold on, but
of
the
that,
one hold on, slow
know?
down. You gotta slow down, man. The one comment she's using is someone saying, "I wonder what color this baby's gonna be." What's wrong with that?
But that's curiosity more than that anything. I
No,
just
that's
think there was
not. Hold on. That's not curiosity. That's just
a question
jibber
based upon
jabber.
curiosity. Yeah.
No,
Yeah, it's a
no, that's
curiosity.
just-
Like I wonder what color this baby is gonna
No,
be.
that's just talk. That's like, man,
Yes,
yeah,
I'm agreeing with you.
It's just jibber jabber. Just
Yeah.
talk. Just random convo. That's
Yeah.
not even like
So you think that
race
if
gay.
you think that's all the racism that I mean, listen, bro,
Hold
we
on. So
could
you're saying so
we
you're
could
saying
attack
they
these
said something
subjects
else.
realistically or
Hold
from
on.
like the
You're
lens that
saying
you love
hold on,
going from.
slow down. You're saying that they said something else and she's keeping it from the public.
Bro, I'm saying that the goddamn royal family is the
Hold on.
royal
Hold
motherfucking
on.
family.
Hold on.
And
Hold
if you
on.
don't know the history of the royal family and what scumbags they are on how many levels, then we can have this conversation.
Listen. Slow down. I need you to slow down. I need you to pipe down a little bit. Are you telling me that there's something else that they said that she's refusing to reveal to the public?
Well, she said other shit. I mean, she said other shit in interviews.
What did she say?
But I don't know, bro. You gotta think. We think I'm
Yeah, but
fucking.
it's all
You
personally
motherfuckers got
interpreted.
the National Enquirer show. I don't do this National Enquirer shit. You know what I mean?
But it's all
You can't make a
personal.
statement if you can't back it up, though.
It's all personal
It's
interpreted
all known. It's
microaggression
known.
bullshit
Like
she's
there's certain
claiming.
things that are just known. You know, she's definitely taking advantage of it and being like a little like fake cunt. That is true. And then there's also the other side that's true. You know, like you guys gotta understand two things can be true at the same time. It seems like most people on this panel think only one thing could be true at the same time. It's a little weird.
No. Here's
Yeah.
the thing.
That's what I think. Firmly.
Let me tell you this, Paul.
Let me tell you this, AK.
If she would have said,
tell you this, Brandon Tatum.
If she would have said, if she's claiming that these people are racist, and she's been on Oprah and she's been in every People magazine, every magazine, if there was something else that they said, she would have told us by now.
All right. You would have to look more. You could go do your National Enquirer, watch a Meghan Markle video next week. I just know for a fact what the royal family is about, and we all know this from history.
Oh, you know from a fact.
Yeah, you know what the royal family is about. Come on, let's not be crazy.
Hold on,
okay.
I don't, man.
All right. Well, you seem like you got a lot. You got a lot of you know.
Tell me what it's about.
Research you need to do.
Tell me
what
they're
about.
about.
It seems like you only like to watch videos that make you enraged, and you and your buddies all sit together and go, "Yeah." It's weird. I respect you guys, though. I might pop up another time. Much love, fellas.
All right, man.
This dude is a fucking crack.
Yeah, it's like this is all you trip, man. But what else? He's saying that no, there's other stuff that they did, but Meghan Markle isn't screaming it from the highest mountain. She's just
the stuff she's referring to, like in that book, is all microaggression bullshit that she took. She took it the way she took it. It's not the way it was meant.
I don't even think she took it that way. I think she's just using it that way. I don't think she took it that way.
Well, I don't think anybody would think she was black if they just saw her.
Yeah.
At all.
Right.
I didn't. I thought she was Hispanic, maybe. Something like that.
That woman, I mean, and she didn't live as a black woman either. It wasn't like she was one of these like sisters, these biracial sisters that's just thumping from her chest about how black they are, trying to overcompensate. She lived as a white woman.
Yeah, Rachel Dolezal is more black than she is.
Like, I'm just trying to understand, like, where do you see, who's seeing somebody where the royal family's going to be like, oh my God.
Right.
Where's this person? She
could be more.
White woman.
Yeah. I remember when I first saw her, and I said, "Wait a minute! People are saying she's black. She's black."
And you notice, like with these biracials, it's usually the only way they can identify with blackness is through struggle.
Correct.
So, or oppression. So
or victimhood, right?
Yeah,
right.
victimhood, exactly. So it's like I'm just like this picture right here. I mean, who's seeing a fucking hold on, where'd it go? Damn. Oh, there's some paywall shit. Yeah, damn.
And when I see that picture on the side, I see white Jewish woman from South Florida.
Yeah, who's seeing
Yeah,
a white woman right there? I mean, who's seeing a black woman right
Sun
there? I
woman,
mean,
yeah.
who looks at this and says that's a black woman, and I have to hate her? I hate black people, and she walks in the room and it's like, get her out of here! Like,
Even her nose, man, and even her lips.
yeah, she doesn't. Nothing about her says black. Nothing.
Nothing.
Even the hair, I mean, it's straight.
Yeah.
Plus, she don't got like a big old booty or nothing, and she don't, you know what I mean? She ain't curvy, and
Right.
like there's just nothing about her that you would look and be like, maybe she's black.
Nothing.
Right.
So I don't know which parent is son.
The mom. The mom is black. The
The
mom
mom's
is
son, and
dad's
is she
white.
UK or US? Where's the mom from?
Mom's from Compton, and the dad's from somewhere in America, but he lives in Mexico now. Her white family is trash. They're a fucking bunch of trashy ass fucking white people. But the mom is a black woman, but it's like we see all the time, like NBA players, they fucking kids look like white people. We see that all the time. It's nothing.
Yeah, they do. That old the black genes are dominant is not true.
No, it's not true at all. So this is her and her mom.
Okay.
It's only dominant in the temperament.
Yeah, it's dominant in the bone structure too. If you look at the bones.
Yeah, but look at that face, dude. Look at that long ass horse face she's got compared to her mom.
Right.
Salute to the freshman. He says in the U.S., Megan was treated as a white woman. When she came to UK, we treated her as a mixed race, and she didn't like it. Oh, so she's upset that you guys treated her as a black woman. And she wanted y'all to accept her as a white woman like they did in the U.S., and because you didn't, she's punishing you for it. Okay, that makes sense. That makes more sense. She's punishing you for treating her, for making. So look at this picture of her as a kid. Hold on, let me see. As a kid, like.
Oh wow. Dang.
Still looks white.
Pure white. And is her mom Asian, or it looks like her mom's mixed with a little Asian, maybe Filipino or something?
I think she's son. She's just black.
That little girl could still pass for white as a kid.
All day.
Yeah. She's straight in the hand.
Probably did.
That's the first time I've seen permed afro post though.
Mm. Yeah, it's crazy, man. This shit is just bizarre. Let me switch to the a bigger picture of it. This shit is just this woman is bizarre. She's strange. She's a strange puppy, man. That woman grew up to be the biggest. She grew up to be the biggest black woman victim of racism of her time. That's crazy. And Colin Kaepernick grew up to be the biggest black male victim of racism of his time. It's just bizarre, man.
This looks like a picture of a white girl next to her neighbor.
Yeah, from the 80s.
Yeah.
If somebody told you she's black, you'd be like, "Ah, yeah, okay," but it wouldn't come to you.
No way. Her nose looks nothing like a sun person, and her thin lips nothing like a sun person.
Yeah, I just don't think that anybody who's racist sees her and gets triggered. Even if the because I mean everyone talks about how racist the goddamn royal family is, but they facilitated the fucking browning of Britain. They facilitated that. Britain is the way it is now partially because of the royal family.
Yep.
It's brown as
Well,
shit.
that and they decolonized all their African holdings.
Yeah, they let all
and
the Africans
Southwest
free.
Asia Holdings.
Yeah, they let all the Africans run their own countries into the ground.
Yeah.
Yep. And to be fair, I don't think the Queen liked Harry's mother either. The one that died.
Right. No one talks
No one
about
talks
that.
about that. They just like,
Camilla either, or none of like no one talks.
she was white.
Yeah.
crazy.
Mothers-in-law don't like. It's always some tension between wives and mothers-in-laws. Always some kind of tension there. These people are bizarre, man. And the fact that Paulie kept trying to make it seem like he knew for a fact. Come on, you know they're racist. I'm like, well, okay, tell me. And he couldn't. And he was, come on, you know. Like, what do you mean? Tell me what this.
Well, that's that white guilt sins of the past shit, Ock.
That's the same answer they gave when you ask about Trump.
Yeah, exactly.
How's Trump racist? Oh well, you know.
Shit.
Well, you know, like I know.
People are crazy, man. Bizarre and crazy. Is this kid? Let's see. Is he? Okay, so the kid, the football player, is doesn't look like he's gonna die, man. Looks like he's all right, man.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, nobody's celebrating this shit.
Of course not, man. I don't know, dude. Like I said, dude's just hitting the pipe.
And even the other guy you talked about, the guy you showed on Twitter, he was wanting to put me in jail.
Who?
The other black football player that died.
Oh yeah.
They had the tweet about they should put the unvaccinated in prison.
Exactly. I can't see what's going on with this guy. They're not telling us. They're not giving us any some concrete information about what's going on with this kid.
That's not a good sign, though.
You don't think so?
No, because if they had good information, they'd put it out.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, but if he was dead, they would tell us too. And he was like, I mean, I think
they gave him 9 minutes of CPR. He was dead.
I think no news is good news.
They're going to do everything they can to, keep them around. So they're not going to announce anything anytime soon. They're just going to keep on trying because that's going to be a horrible look for the league. Because this was a nationally televised game, right?
Yeah, I hate the fact that it's a horrible look for the league, though.
Yeah, this is Monday Night Football.
Because people get hurt.
Yeah, but they don't die though.
And they don't die of heart attacks on the field.
Yeah,
right,
man.
They don't die because this is rare. They don't die. It's not like players are dropping dead every 5 minutes.
True, but I'm just saying, that's a bad look for a player to die on a Monday Night Football game.
I think it would be worse if it was due to some kind of trauma. I think the fact that he had a heart attack gets them off the hook. Now, if he had gotten hit and had a head trauma like Tua or something and died like that, or something like that, that would have been, yes, that would hurt them. This kid had a fucking heart attack. That had nothing to do with the fucking with football.
Right. So that's going to bring the other argument. What did it come from? And then there you go back to the Falsey shot.
Yeah.
Because that thing about him getting hit in the heart thing and all that, like someone had said earlier, man, your shoulder pads, it's covering that area.
Yeah. It's not we're not getting any news about him on Twitter, so I was just looking. Salute to the freshman. He said, salute to the freshman. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Of course, we all hope he makes it, man. Of course.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, I don't know where he got that from. I don't know where he got that from.
He was emotional because he said he's a Bills fan, and then so I guess he was emotional with that and just came in blasting.
Yeah.
And the reason why when he came in hot like that, why it made me upset is because it's just he's just like we're just so emotional about everything these days. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And everything that happens to every single individual means we got to shut everything down all the time now.
Well, that, and I'm sorry, but show me a time in history where more athletes has collapsed on the field.
Well, I mean, again, with that, it's just the evidence is there. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. It's definitely some kind of trend and something that needs to be looked into and not just ignored and shoot away as conspiracy.
Right.
I'm just trying to find anything about this kid, his status.
I mean, TMC's got a running timeline.
Yeah, I'm not hearing nothing about an update on the status.
Yeah, they're gonna slow walk this. I bet you they're the brain trust is either on a conference call, a Zoom call, or something, and they're all getting their thoughts together as how they're going to handle this.
Because they want to make sure they handle it the right way because they don't want to piss other
Absolutely.
people off.
Absolutely. Especially with the playoffs coming up. This is their time of the year, man.
Yeah.
Well, that and all the COOF information coming out now. They're going
I
to
don't
try
think
and
they care
counter
about
this.
the COOF though. I don't think they even care about that.
No, the NFL doesn't.
Yeah.
But
I
they
don't think
will.
No, I
The
don't
powers
think
that be elsewhere will really care about this.
I think the NFL, a league like that, they got almost 99.9%.
Oh, yeah, but you remember the NFL was pushing this shit too.
Yeah, but 99% of their players and staff are vaccinated.
Yeah.
They had to be.
Right. So they're not looking at it. They're not looking at it like, oh, the jab was a bad thing. They don't live in that world where people think the jab has something to do with this and that and third. They live in a world where
If you don't think that they're monitoring the conversations and these trends just like everyone else, man, it's not about us living in a bubble where we're all conspiracy theorists. Like this conversation is documented. The company, I don't want to say the company's name, the company has put it in their package insert that there is cardiac issues with this shit. It's not just made up. That's a real adverse event that they have documented. And that they're studying because they want to know why so many boys between the ages of 15 and 22 are having this issue as well. So again, this isn't just a conspiracy theory, bro.
no, but I think they think it is. They see it like that.
Nah, I think their doctors are like
Right now, remember the swine flu vaccine that they pulled back in the 90s, 99 I think it was?
Yeah, I do.
There was one adverse effect, serious adverse effect within 100,000, and they pulled it.
Wow.
There's 1 in 800 for COVID, and they're pushing it.
Wow.
Yeah, and I would
also the FAA is looking at pairing pilots that have been unvaccinated with pilots who have been vaccinated in flight crews because they've had 3 pilots die while flying.
Fact.
Yeah. And most people don't know that, but again, because they've not seen it, then they're just telling you're a conspiracy theory and a liar.
Mm.
And you shouldn't speak on it if you don't know if it's 100% true.
Wow.
And
I know somebody that works for the FAA that's on the working group for this.
And I bet you it was a ton of players, NFL players, who did not want to get that injectable.
Many, and that's why they went out and got fake docs.
Right.
And then they started finding out the players had fake docs.
All right, let's end with Baltimore, man.
It's a great way to end, ain't it?
Fox 14
45's Vincent Hill is demanding answers for us as we start the new year with the same problems.
Yeah, 2023, starting much like 2022, ended violence in the streets of Baltimore.
Out with the old, in with the new. But for Baltimore, more of the same.
Baltimore is a terrible, dangerous, and wild, wild west type of place.
Just 3.5.
Well, okay. Tell us how you really feel, man. Shit.
Salute to him.
Baltimore is a terrible, dangerous, and wild, wild west type of place.
Just 3.5 hours into the new year, gunshots near North Glover Street, leaving a 17-year-old girl dead and a 31-year-old man injured. Today, Mayor Brandon Scott starting his new year praising his progress on public safety in this memo.
Brandon Scott should be the one held accountable for these crimes because he's not doing enough to change the dynamic in Baltimore. He's holding press conferences instead of getting stuff done.
Sean Kennedy of the Maryland Public Policy Institute says Baltimore's crime is a deadly disease.
The leading cause of unexpected death in Baltimore is murder.
And that it's become all too common.
Everybody thinks that Baltimore will be, because it always has been, a violent place, that it always shall be a violent place.
This Baltimore resident agrees.
I think that's wrong. You can't even leave out your door in the morning time and guarantee that you're going to make it back home to your family.
Before the ball dropped on the new year, 9 people were killed in the days after Christmas.
Jesus Christ. My God.
Including a 7-year-old.
It's really appalling, but it's considered normal that people would be dying in a violent death in the city of Baltimore, and nobody bats an eye anymore.
The mayor himself echoing that sentiment.
People are dying over dumb, and that's the reality.
What a clown.
People are dying because of dumb policy.
What a clown.
And this is the same policy that he pushed in as a city councilman.
I mean, he does make a point. They are dying over dumb shit, though.
Yeah, but you're a professional, Op. You can't say that in front of the media.
Nobody bats an eye anymore.
The mayor himself echoing that sentiment.
People are dying over dumb, and that's the reality. And we have to understand how we're going to hold those people accountable.
Kennedy says angry words from the mayor is not enough.
He is elected to lead the city of Baltimore, so do something about it.
As for that first homicide of the year, again, that victim is a 17-year-old female. Homicide detectives are asking anyone with information to contact them or Metro Crime Stoppers, and you can remain anonymous. In Baltimore, Vincent Hill, Fox 45 News.
Well, this isn't the first time we've seen Mayor Scott get fired up about talking about senseless violence in our city. In May, a pregnant woman was killed in a drive-by shooting in East Baltimore, and the mayor becoming emotional then as well, once again calling on Baltimore City residents to step up and stop the violence.
And to be quite honest and frank, I don't really give a what the conflict was. So what we have to do as a community is turn our community inside out. We're going to be here to make sure that we're looking for this person, individuals, people that conducted this senseless act of violence. But we need everybody to do that.
Well, those emotional comments
he's a part of the new wave.
Promise for the second year in a row.
He's a part of the new wave of leftist politicians that think that when they use vulgarity in public, that it shows that they're really angry about something.
Right,
but
and they're doing.
Yeah, it's a rhetorical tool that they're all doing now, using F-bombs and all of these curse words in public.
It's almost a dog whistle to the Sun people because they know Sun people get ginned up off of stuff like that instead of results.
Base, yeah.
Do you remember the scene in The Wire when they was focusing on the mayoral race when it was when the Sunman mayor, he was still in there and he was having a meeting with the chief of police and the state's attorney, and he was demanding that they either keep he was demanding that they keep the murder rate down because he knew if the numbers got to a certain point it was going to really lessen his chances of being reelected. And the chief of police and the state's attorney were bickering back and forth of why cases can't get done. And the mayor said, look, I don't want to hear both of you all. We're on the same team. You all are bickering back and forth. Do something about this situation. And that's what needs to be done in real life. And it's not being done.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
He's bitching at the
do.
people on the street, not the DA that's letting him out.
Exactly. He's demanding, and they all said the community needs to do more. The community needs to do more. No, let your law enforcement individuals do their job and demand that the DA's office prosecute these people and don't let them out of jail. Problem solved. We can go home.
Yeah, I mean, but he's the mayor, not the DA.
I will aim to reduce homicides by 15% each year in my term, getting us below 300 homicides in my first year.
Well, despite all of that, Baltimore just saw its 8th consecutive year with more than 300 murders. We've seen at least 334 in 2022, 4 less than last year. Fox 45 News has told the stories of many of those murder victims, including the first of 2022, 17-year-old Bernard Mushka Thomas, killed 1 year ago today. 66-year-old Clarence Buckner was shot and killed inside his house. Fox 45 News spoke with his wife in February. She says a man followed him home from the casino and shot him at his house. In July, police say a 15-year-old squeegee kid shot and killed Timothy Reynolds at the intersection of Light and Conway at the Inner Harbor. That 15-year-old's trial will happen this year. Jeremiah Brogdon was killed in September. He was shot during dismissal at Mervo High School. Well, we want to know what you think. Will crime keep people from coming to downtown Baltimore in 2023? So far, 99% of voters say yes. Head to foxbaltimore.com/vote to weigh in. Well, incoming City State's Attorney Ivan Bates held a tailgate outside of M&T Bank Stadium ahead of the Ravens game tonight. Fox 45 News questioned him on what he will do to curb the crime in Baltimore.
And, we have a culture of violence that we're fighting. And so what we have to do, I have to do my part. It's not just about me as a state's attorney. It's about me working collaboratively with everybody. So everybody has to do their part. That's the
Everybody
state's
else's
attorney,
fault.
that's the police department, that's the community. But before I know the community wants to be involved, we have to make sure the community knows they can believe and trust that the state's attorney's office has their back. We're going to do what we need to keep them safe and to put good cases together.
Ding,
Ivan
ding,
Bates
ding.
will be sworn in on Tuesday. Fox 45's Taylor Stewart spoke with a political expert on how the change of leadership can really impact the city's crime fight.
A new year, a new top prosecutor in Baltimore,
There will be a change of culture.
and a new administration in the State House.
You have to have some pelts on the wall. You have to have some accomplishments. Success in Baltimore City, doing a variety of things, allows him to show, as governor, I've done these things. I've made things better. And for Baltimore, there's nowhere to go but up.
2022 closed out with 334 homicides, 9 people killed between Christmas and New Year's. And the city's youngest residents caught in the crossfire time and time again. The lives of nearly 24 young people cut short. The result of rampant gun violence in the city of Baltimore.
I'm focused on violence and illegal guns. If you have an illegal gun in Baltimore City, we're asking for jail. If you're a felon with an illegal gun, we will be asking for 5 years without the possibility of parole.
Political expert John Dede says
Okay, what do you think about this guy? This guy's coming in guns blazing, man.
Well,
They're asking for jail, which means county, which means less than a year.
Nah, he's not. No, he's going to get well in a year. But a few weeks ago, I remember I had mentioned that there was going to be a new state's attorney, and he was talking way different than Marilyn Mosby. I do think he's going to keep his word. I keep up with Baltimore politics, pretty regularly. He's been saying this from day one. My only concern is with the new leadership at the state level. The guy that replacing Hogan. Yeah, the governor, because he's not good,
woke,
man.
He's woke, yeah.
Oh man, and not only that, he lied about growing up in Baltimore. He didn't do that.
Really? He lied about that?
Yeah, he had in a book that was required reading for students in Baltimore City schools. Go figure. But yeah, he lied about growing up in Baltimore. And before coming onto the political scene, he worked with a lot of shady groups. headed by like Weinstein and other, figures like that people just don't know about.
A lot of Soros
Yes.
funded stuff.
Yes, and that's where he got all of his financial backing from.
Ideology and shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I think Ivan Bates, the new DA, I think he's the truth.
Wow. I hope so. He's talking good.
Time and time again, the lives of nearly 24 young people cut short. The result of rampant gun violence in the city of Baltimore.
I'm focused on violence and illegal guns. If you have an illegal gun in Baltimore City, we're asking for jail. If you're a felon with an illegal gun, we will be asking for 5 years without the possibility of parole.
Political expert John Dede says this upcoming legislative session could bode well for the city, especially when it comes to addressing the crime crisis. Collaboration between the incoming city state attorney Ivan Bates, Mayor Brandon Scott, and Governor-elect Wes Moore is what it will take to shift the needle in Annapolis.
I think the city of Baltimore will do very well in the legislative session on crime initiatives because of the role Ivan Bates is playing. Everyone's rooting for him. Everyone wants him to succeed. I think he's going to get a lot of the things he wants, especially more prosecutors.
A critical need for the office that's down more than 80 prosecutors.
That office has been decimated, demoralized. We've had the opportunity to talk to a number of prosecutors, and they just need the resources to do the job.
There's so much of a surplus of things Governor Hogan didn't spend money on that I think a lot of legislators are going to say, let's break that piggy bank.
Dede says the incoming administration is also eyeing other expensive priorities, like expanding mass transit and increasing funding for public education. I'm Taylor Stewart, Fox 45 News.
Ivan Bates is holding a few events to kick off his time in office this week. On Thursday, he is hosting a Take Back Our Streets town hall, where he will be joined by U.S. Attorney for Maryland Eric Barron, Attorney General Anthony Brown, Police Commissioner Michael Harrison, and Inspector General Isabel Cumming. Fox 45 News will have complete coverage of Bates' inauguration all week long. Well, Marilyn Mosby has had a number of problems in her tenure. In February of 2021, an Inspector General investigation into Mosby's travel revealed she wrote off thousands of dollars in expenses for 3 companies that were not operating. We have also seen several questionable plea deals from Mosby's office. That includes the case of convicted arsonist Luther Trent, we told you about in January. He was released on a plea deal from Mosby's office after serving less than 6 months in jail. Trent actually told
see, I'm glad we're gonna monitor this new DA, man, in Baltimore throughout the year, man. See what he's really doing, man. Salute to all you guys, man. Peace out. I'll see y'all tomorrow, man.
Have a good night.
Night.
Mm.